hasn't got to do with his freedom. 5 days. So what? You can't give me five.
You guys are missing him, man. I mean,
you just give me 5 days every. I don't want to overreact. Because it should not be reactionary. But as the kids say, things are peak.
What would you rather have? Creating more chances or being a lot more efficient?
This is a second year. And it's a red. What? Last time United won the Champions League. Freakish.
I think Berardi was the worst player in the game.
Wait. What are you eating?
Buffalo chicken wings.
Guys, what up, guys? This is going to be a very interesting show. I think this one is going to be a jam-packed, interesting show. So, let's just tell you what's going to come up on this Sunday Hangout. Hope you guys are doing good. You're feeling sexy. You're feeling great. You're feeling sassy. So, we're going to be talking about Messi. Messi's 5 goals against Estonia. Europe qualification. Whether there should be a tax on international goals scored. And what would Messi do if he was European? We're going to have a discussion about European qualification and why it's a complete farce and why something shouldn't even be allowed to play. We're then going to talk about Bale. Bismo. Shout out to your boy RDS who actually sent me a DM because I was away today. I was doing a few things. I said, because I forgot Wales were playing Ukraine today. So we'll talk about maybe Disney Plus tax of how I don't know how Ukraine lost because I thought that the rest were in their bag. But is Bale the greatest British player ever? And what does this do for Bale's GOAT status and greatness status as a player in the fact of he has led these dudes to a World Cup? Then a big one that I think we have to do since Real Madrid have won the UCL, which was the best trio? The Real Madrid trio of Casemiro, Modric and Kroos, or the trio of Barcelona of Iniesta, Xavi and Busquets? Which one was the best trio? And then finally, Rio and Serie, who was the better defender? Maybe artists can give us a little bit of a United insight. Who was the better defender at the peak, Rio or Serie? So, guys, it's a fun one. It's really, I think, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be cool. So, guys, remember, as I always say, feel free to send in those dubs, man. They're called super chats, and they help to bring the studio, helping to get these jerseys off the rafters. 2 jerseys are coming through. I've got 2 more jerseys on the way, quality ones as well. Some bum stole the other jerseys that I had, but they're on the way. It's coming through, and hopefully you guys can be able to say what's up, man. So yeah, so send in those super chats, send in those dubs, like the vid, subscribe if you're new, and we're gonna have a very interesting, cool show. Mohammed, you're not being a security guard or were you sacked?
It's nah. It's my off day, mate. It's my off day.
It's your off day. Nice one.
Off
bro. Nice
day.
one.
Off day. Let's go.
Wait, do you do 6 days a week, 7 days a week? How often do you work?
I do like 4 days and sometimes 5 days a week. But I work 4 days, and then I play football on Sunday and Monday. And yeah, I have like 1 recovery day. But I'm off for 3 days for the most part. Yeah.
Damn, man. Just go look, man. Enjoy your free days. We're very happy to have you. Very happy to see you on your free day, man.
Yeah.
Wait, double it. I'll be here for a short time. I just want to praise Messi and head
you are shameless, man. Delta, I see you in the back, and I'm not sure that I want to let you in because I think if ever
do it.
Don't let him in.
If ever there was one thing to not allow Delta in, I'll think about it. Let me see how it goes, and Delta, I'll think about bringing it. But I think because this is the worst thing for him to be brought in. So after his performance last night, so let's get into it, man. So where's my marker? So now, guys, let me just try and phrase this for you guys because people seem to be misunderstanding the reason why I even made that video in the first place. Let me even bring up your boy here. So yes, this was a friendly. Yes, nothing was at stake. Yes, this doesn't matter. Yes, it was Estonia. But you have to understand, this game means nothing. Like some clown on Twitter said, oh, well, now Ballon d'Or to Messi. You dumb freaking moron. This has no bearing on the Ballon d'Or because it's not a competitive game. It's a friendly and it's against part-timers. So the points of him scoring 5 goals, 6 goals against Estonia, that's not the point. It's a larger point that I'm making here. And you say, what is the larger point? The larger point is, how many times have Argentina actually played the bottom feeders of Europe? Like, how many times have Argentina played San Marino, Lithuania, Liechtenstein, Moldova, Kazakhstan, or in this case, Estonia? Because the theory is, I've always said that international goals mean nothing because that's why you bring in Dodd. I can only count your goals based on who you face. Scoring a hat-trick, or in the words of Ricardo, a Harry against these bomb-ass teams means nothing to me. That's why we bring in Dodd. But the point of this was, South America is way tougher than Europe. The worst team in South America, whether it's Bolivia or Venezuela, they would breastfeed and test tube the worst team in Europe. Just let's see Bolivia or Venezuela play against San Marino or Lithuania or Liechtenstein. They'll breastfeed them. So a lot of these guys, whether it's Lewandowski, whether it's Cristiano, whether it's Harry Kane, your stats padding is bombs. So that international goals record that they have and so forth doesn't mean anything to me. This is simple science and simple math. If Messi, with Argentina and the quality around him, was playing these garbage-ass teams, he would be the all-time leading international goal scorer. That's hands down fact. That's not up for debate. That would be a cold-hearted fact. Cold-hearted fact. Because you have to look at how Messi plays, the quality that's around him in Argentina, and the gap in quality between him and Argentina and guys like Lithuania, Estonia, and so forth. Because see, RDS said something interesting, and I was like, RDS, you can't really use that. Because RDS said, oh, Uber Eats. We all thought he was going to test Uber Eats and destroy them. And it's true. One of the most shocking things was how Messi underperformed in Uber Eats. But then I responded to RDS's tweet. I said that, are you comparing Nons, Mets, or whoever to Lithuania and Estonia? Because see, the fact of that, even the worst team in Uber Eats, they are full-timers. Give me the worst Uber Eats team. They do that full-time. There are guys in Europe where this is part-time. This is not their full-time job. There are guys who know, my main job is a student or a banker, and I play football on the side because we just have to by rule. So if Messi is going up against part-timers who don't even play football full-time, he'll breastfeed them. It's as simple as that. He would breastfeed them. So that is why whenever you look at Europe qualification and so forth, Europe is weird. That's why we want to have a conversation about Europe, and I'll bring it to the guys. The best of Europe are amongst the very best in the world. So you look at whether it's a Germany, you look at whether it's an Italy, although they're iffy now, Portugal, France, and now so forth. But the worst in Europe are amongst the worst in the world. The worst in Europe, my argument is that the worst teams in Europe are amongst the worst football teams in the world, on the planet. The best teams in Europe are amongst the best in the world, but the worst in Europe are amongst the worst in the world. The worst teams in South America, I believe, would beat most of the worst teams anywhere in the world. Africa, Europe, Asia, and so forth. Because in the whole of South America, everybody knows how to play football. There are guys in Europe who, these guys do not know how to play the sport of football. This is just a simple fact. So the point I was making, and that's what I'm now going to have the discussion, is if Messi was European and he played in Europe, would there be any argument that he would be the record holder? Let me come to your boy Ricardo with this, because it was Ricardo who actually even told me the demand. I was like, what? And so forth. So talk to me, man, because look, Ricardo, I've opened up a whole can of worms. The war has been actually, this war keeps on going on, but the war has been fully recognized now with Cristiano and Messi and everything.
Yeah.
But Ricardo, it's simple logic that, bro, if this guy was in Europe with Argentina against this level of teams, because this isn't like Uber Eats, where the worst Uber Eats teams are still 10 times better than guys who play part-time.
Yeah, they're professionals. At the end of the day, they're professionals.
Yeah.
In terms of this conversation, look, I'm a Messi guy, but I could literally give less of a fuck about the fact that he scored 5 goals because I'm watching this game and I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because Messi's destroying. I'm laughing because, like, I don't want to take anything from Cristiano Ronaldo. And look, he's caught a stray bullet in this whole conversation. That's the reality. He caught a stray bullet.
Yeah, it was a straight.
Right?
It's straight.
The reason why I can't take, like, it's a great record, regardless of how you view it, what context you add to it. Ronaldo scoring, I think it's 117 goals now on the international level. It's a great feat because at the end of the day, you can only play.
You can only play who's in front of you.
Who's in front of you. However, at the end of the day, even when people try to argue or look at his competitive record, I mean, are we gonna be ignorant? Are we gonna dismiss context that the fact that ever since the Nations League has been implemented into UEFA, friendly games for European teams do not exist. So essentially, every game that European teams play is considered a competitive game. That's not even to mention the quality of groups you have in the European World Cup qualifiers. Those games are considered competitive games. You face Luxembourg, you face Liechtenstein, Estonia, Lithuania. They are considered competitive games. They're not considered friendly games. They get counted toward their competitive tally. And it's the same thing. I'm not too familiar with the process of the Asian Cup and African Cup of Nation. If they have a qualifier to the tournament, I would assume so.
Well, I know there's a qualifier for the Nations Cup in Africa.
Yes, because there's a lot of countries, right?
Yes,
but
yes.
Euros, they also have a qualifiers for their European championship, and that's like almost 2 World Cup qualifiers. So the opportunities you have to face these garbage ass, I call them Eastern European human sex traffickers. Because that's what they are. Okay. They are garbage. No, let's not. I mean, we call
RDS. I ain't defending them. Those guys are racist, man. So here's what it is.
We call South American cartel nations. It is what it is. Everybody can catch it. All right. So you have someone like Ronaldo, who's an anomaly, by the way. Like, if it was so easy, then everybody would do it, right? I mean, that's the benefit you're giving Ronaldo. But at the same time, we can't act like Harry Kane isn't stat padding. We can't act like Lewandowski isn't stat padding, although he plays for not a good nation himself. But a lot of their goals in competitive fixtures are extremely over-glorified. They don't mean anything. And I'm happy in a sense that Messi scored 5 goals, not because he scored 5 goals, but the fact that is that it shows you that this Eurocentric elitism that football fans have, that just because you play in Europe means this is the pinnacle of football. And I agree with what you said, HH. The top guys in Europe, they're the top guys, not only in Europe, but in the world. But the worst teams in Europe, they are horrendous.
Horrendous.
And one thing I also want to mention too, oh, sorry. But before I get to that, Messi scoring 5 goals coming off the worst goal-scoring season of his career, and he drops a 5-piece on these guys. I'm sorry. You can't actually tell me that European World Cup qualifiers and European Euros qualifiers is serious. And with Nations League, we have seen so many people. Can I finish? We have seen so many. We literally had Kevin De Bruyne say the other day that he does not give a flying fuck about Nations League. So I imagine how many players actually feel the same way about Nations League. And the last thing I just want to say, because I can go in depth on this, but I don't really care too much. I can tell who watches South American football by the way you talk about South American football. Yes, don't get me wrong. Venezuela, Bolivia, they're not very good teams. They're not very good teams. But there's other factors that people overlook. And all those factors I'm talking about is when you play, for example, in Chile, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Bolivia is one of them, actually. You are playing in some of the harshest conditions in the world. I know, like, Africa has the heat, but at the end of the day, like, Africa as a whole.
But I mean, Bolivia have the altitude thing.
They have it's like, you know how it's crazy. I remember watching a game between Bolivia versus Argentina, and Bolivia beat the living crap out of Argentina 6-1. It was so bad that Messi was vomiting like 30 minutes into the game. The players were apparently on gas tanks in the locker room at halftime.
Guys, land, Ricardo. I need to respond.
Bro, if you put some of these European teams, like even the big teams, I'm not saying they wouldn't beat Bolivia at home, but there's a good chance that Bolivia may actually beat some of these teams because they've never played in these conditions before. Like some of these players will literally pull their hamstrings 30 minutes into the game because they're not. Their bodies
just
not
out
conditioned
of
for that.
curiosity, Ricardo, when the World Cup was in South America, was it a European or a South American team that won the World Cup?
Well, that's not really an argument because Brazil doesn't have the same level of harsh conditions as the teams on the western side of the continent.
I get their argument, but I'm just sort of saying.
Climate tax, man.
Anyway, I'll let you finish your point. Sorry.
Well, even if you want to use that argument, Brazil and Argentina, who are typically the two heads of South American football, that was not by far their best teams anyways, while Germany was pretty much sitting pretty on top. But that's for another discussion anyways. But the fact is that even like climates like Ecuador and Colombia, like they're insane level of heat. And European football, as good as it is the most pampered football. You play on nice pitches. You like everything is down to a T. Like there's no imperfections or anything at all. And as for Messi, if we're gonna add like actual context to the whole situation, if he had to play in Europe, he would have played for the Spanish national team. And let's be honest, if you look at the time Messi was a professional, Spain has been one of or if not the best well-oiled national teams. When he was in Argentina, they weren't always a stable federation. They went through ups and downs. But had he played for Spain, bro, I'm saying being generous, minimum 150.
He should have picked Spain. Like, yeah, it is.
No. I don't think he should have picked Spain.
I'm glad he picked Argentina.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's good. And also for me, because this is what I said about how, imagine if he picked Spain. When you actually see how Messi plays, he plays like an Argentine. Doesn't play like a Spanish player. Yeah. So the way that
he's Argentine through and through.
Yeah. So okay, let me, because I know Jujuman is a Ziga. Yeah. So talk to me.
Oh yeah, so like with this Nations League, I know a lot of players are saying that it's useless. But like for example, Ricardo, you say De Bruyne. I don't think De Bruyne, like he plays for Belgium, so I don't even think it makes a difference. It's not like he's going to win. And then for this debate with Messi and like there's a debate Messi and Ronaldo. Like, look, I've watched Ronaldo from Madrid. You know, I used to have posters of Ronaldo and Messi's.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Excuse me.
I was legit a fan, but I went out of my way and bought posters for these guys. So look, I watched Ronaldo and Messi both as a fan, and I'm just going to keep it straight. Like, there's no competition. Like, look, I know it's hard, it hurts, and it's painful for people, but it's like, look, Messi's just like. I saw some of the training videos. It's shocking how good this guy is.
Wait, hold on, Jojo.
Yeah.
Are you saying this based off of him scoring 5 goals against Pat's time?
No.
Don't use this as an
because
example,
of this.
bro.
No, because of this game. Because in general, I like throughout the whole career, like I haven't like it's in general.
But let's focus though, because people say that's eighth spots. We don't know if Messi was European. Is he the goal record holder, or we can never tell?
Oh, we can never tell. Look, I think I have a different opinion. I think like the European teams are the best. I think.
What about the worst European teams?
I still think they're decent. Look, I think some of these players.
San Marino are decent.
Look,
the brick. Drop the brick.
Look, no, you don't drop the brick. I know that you're going to drop the brick.
No. As I said again, the best European teams are amongst the best in the world, and the best European teams will always be the favorites at the World Cup because they are part of the elite. But I'm talking about the worst European teams. The worst European teams are amongst the worst teams in the world.
Yeah, like Gibraltar, Liechtenstein, Moldova, Malta.
True, but they don't play full time.
Yeah, but true. We'll just say we don't know. We don't know how they would perform. Okay. Yes, and then like for the other part was with South American teams. I think South America they are more physical. That's why like Messi. I think this game against like playing in Liga probably added something to Messi's game where he get a lot of exposure playing with physical teams. Now it's like it's not a shock where you go from La Liga where it's less physical, like it's more of a technical league, and then you go to like Liga where you get exposure. The games are like rough, and it's more physical, and I think that helps him when he plays. And then with this, I won't go hard on the other team, on the opponents, because I think this. I'm not surprised with this Messi performance. I knew it, and I swear.
Yeah, no, Judgment, you can't allow a guy to score 5 goals against you.
No, but double H. Like, let's be honest.
What?
Like, this is a great player. It's a great player. So it's no shame. It's no shame.
I don't care who you are, you're alien. A one-man scoring 5 goals in a competitive game, friendly or no friendly, that's ridiculous. You cannot allow one man to score 5 goals against you. That's stupid.
Oh, true. And then, true. True, but it's like, true. True. Okay, you have a point. And then, like the one point is like, I'm going to say this again. This whole season, it's no Messi. It's Pochettino. I'm telling you. Once you get rid of Pochettino,
no,
he's the problem.
No. See, that's not what you're not going to do. Messi has to hold the L for this season.
No, it's not. I'm not accepting that.
What we're not going to do is not this shows
it's Poch.
No,
how is Poch
and
help
Messi
their
as
shooting
well.
technique though? How is Poch gonna help Messi shoot the ball like the football, bro? Like,
no, it's not that. It's the system. Have you seen how Poch plays? Like he like, I don't know how people are even Tottenham fans under Poch. Like, this is like,
no, but regardless of how Poch tax,
man is getting sacked, man. Let the guy live.
Yeah, let him go. He's gone.
Regardless.
Let it go.
All right.
Hold on. Let your man fan that comes in, Mohammed.
Because it's like with the system, it's just his system doesn't complement the players. He has among the best players with technical ability, but he plays like physical running football. I'm like, this is not compatible. And then, but we'll see next season, guaranteed 50. No, 40 max. 40 plus.
No.
But that's about it.
Whoa, relax.
Minimum.
So you're saying that's 40 minimum.
Man
Wait,
guaranteed 40.
Man said with chest minimum.
Hold on. Okay, so hold on. That's because I'm gonna clip this. You say Messi 40 goals minimum next season.
40 goals and assists minimum, guaranteed.
Wait,
you can save it. You can save it.
Stop. No.
You said goals.
How many
whole
goals?
season or just Liga?
How many goals minimum?
No, don't do it.
No. I'll say confidently. 30,
how many?
Minimum 30. Minimum 30.
How do we go from 50 to 40 to now 30?
Minimum 30.
No, that's good. 30 is good.
Switching up.
30 is good. Clip it. 30 is good.
Yeah,
No, 50. I want the 50. I want 50.
No, because of Mbappe. But Mbappe is going to be the leader.
Okay,
I can say confident.
Jujuman.
Deleted.
Jujuman.
Yeah.
So you're saying Messi will get 30 goals minimum in the Uber Eats?
No. Yeah, guaranteed.
Oh, man. This guy, man.
I'm
guaranteed.
So that is saved.
Save it, guys.
So guys, streets, help me save that. So
receipt locked in.
So let me come to Mohammed and I'll come to you about RDS. Mohammed, talk to me.
Yeah, like, no disrespect. Like, I know PSG Delta going to jump in here and try to go at me.
I'm trying to avoid them,
man, bro. Like, look, bro, these guys are fruit sellers, bro. Like, no disrespect, bro. To like, that might be disrespect to the fruit sellers, if anything. Like, if we keeping it a stack, bro, when it comes to Messi, I don't want to hear these Poch excuses, because as much as there is a Poch tax, which I do agree with, it's not all down to Poch that Messi forgot how to shoot the football, bro. Like, it's just fundamentals at the end of the day. And by Juju Man's words, bro, Juju Man, I'm quoting Juju Man. It's not even competitive with Messi and Cristiano, but then now we're like, coach taxes hinder Messi, even though it's not even competitive. Like, but then Cristiano through the Santos tax. But anyways, fuck the Cristiano shit. Like, if we're gonna say,
because the real question is, if Messi is European, does he break the goals record? If he's European, if he plays for Spain,
I think he does, because I think he might. Maybe it depends. So you're saying he breaks Cristiano's record?
That's the thing. Does he hold the goals record outright for international goals? If he can play against Estonia,
he'll be close. I think he'll be close, like second, but like goals and assists, he'll be the best outright European, but I don't think he'll quite break the goal record.
Okay.
But he has a very good goal scorer though, but not recently. But yeah, anyways, over his career.
RDS, talk to me.
Oh dear.
RDS, don't bring up Uber Eats.
No.
RDS, we have moved on. Yes, he got 6 goals. It's 8 goals.
The season's over.
I'm actually
It's over, man. We get it.
I'm just surprised how like shameless Messi Twitter is man. I was just literally
No. Okay, no. Sorry, no. Artist, the most shameful thing that I saw, which I had to be angry with, because I actually was about. Was when someone said, "Oh, I guess he's not going to get his 8th Ballon d'Or." It's like, excuse me.
That was just
padding
stupid.
against Estonia.
That is the only reason why I can explain this, because like, bro, I was obviously I messaged you with the whole Bale thing, and to be honest, I thought that was going to be a lead, because for me, I believe that what Bale has accomplished at club and country.
Oh gosh! Wait, hold up. RDS, no. Is that a Madrid jersey?
What the?
This
dude.
No. All right.
You have to wear the kit. You have to wear the
loan anymore.
No.
I'm on loan to Madrid.
This isn't a loan anymore.
Shout out to the guy in the street who actually told me that he actually changed the AVI. I mean, that's disgusting. That is
Los Blancos Studios.
I'm
Los
on-
Blancos Studios.
AJ, this is a permanent deal.
Bro, by the way, when I'm probably an example of a successful loan, because I went to loan to Madrid in January and went to win on the UCL. So just putting that out there. Unlike Labdor, who were
Facts. Congrats on your
Thanks.
14th UCL, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Unlucky for you guys, man, in the final.
Unlucky. It is
maybe
what
a
it
fourth
is.
next year. Who knows? You know, man?
Maybe.
disgusting, man. Disgusting.
But let me finish on the. I see this. Shout out to Joseph Biken, by the way, man.
Wait, someone actually did that. Oh wow.
They went to go goal scoring, man. They went to go goal
Now,
scoring.
speaking of goal scoring,
if you know, you know.
Man.
So let's keep this that. That's the real goal in terms of goal scoring, man. You know, so if you can ball, you know, in over 2 world wars, you're the GOAT in my opinion, to be honest. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't understand, because I'm going from like, wow, Gareth Bale really brought Wales to like their first like World Cup in 64 years. What an incredible achievement, like for club, and just looking at his career and like thinking maybe this dude could actually be in a conversation for one of the best players of this generation because of what he's achieved for both club and country. Only then for me to be bombarded by Twitter with Messi's amazing, Messi's the GOAT. Like, what's going on? I don't understand. And then it's like, okay, maybe something has happened. Like, like, oh, okay, cool. What's Messi doing? And it's like, oh, he scored a hat-trick against Estonia. It's like, okay. Oh, he scored 5 goals against Estonia. It's like, right, okay. Oh, and it's like, what? Maybe this is some like other competitive fixtures. Friendly, and like, what the?
Messi's back. Messi's back.
See, that's why I've got to always be careful. Like, this is about, what could he have done if he was European? But how you can use even he's got 8 goals against Estonia in a friendly. How do you go from that to he's the GOAT, greatest of all time? That's messed up.
I don't understand. Like, bro, like this is like I even looked at the FIFA rankings, man. Estonia actually ranked below, like Estonia ranked, I think, 108 in the FIFA rankings. Like, and bro, that's below Palestine. Palestine.
Bro, say it ain't so, bro. Say it's not so.
I want to crack a joke, but I want to crack a joke to do with the war, but I think stuff is a bit serious, so let me not go there. But
yeah, I'm just saying, like, relax. You know what I mean? Like, it's a GOAT because, you know, reasons. So yeah, like, even because I wasn't even thinking about Ronaldo, but if you are going to bring up Ronaldo, like he did score a brace against Switzerland, who ranked 13th in the world rankings, which is not bad. So it's not the fact that, like, I'm not saying that Messi's a bad footballer, Messi's this way. It's more just the fact that I just didn't think that. I mean, even I'm not that shameless. I would never tweet like if Ronaldo scored a hat-trick against Andorra that he is the GOAT, the most talented player based on a hat-trick against Spurs. Sure, a hat-trick in a World Cup against Spain. Fine, a hat-trick against Atletico in the CL, absolutely. But against like Estonia in a friendly, come on, guys, have some shame, man. That's all I'm saying.
But it wasn't a hat-trick though; it was 5 goals. So I gotta correct yourself, man.
No, but PSG Delta.
Is
does
that
he
is that
deserve
no
the Ballon d'Or?
Okay, sorry, hold on. PSG Delta. Now,
Yo, what's up?
Oh boy.
this no. Don't say what's up and everything. So that this is the conditions for you to because you should actually be here because you actually be banned.
Yeah, you know I got the HH privilege,
yeah, okay,
man.
yeah. I know. Now, when you speak, you're not allowed to mention Cristiano Ronaldo's name. You're not allowed to even allude to Cristiano Ronaldo's presence. The moment you mention Cristiano's name or even allude to him, you will get kicked off of this hangout. So you can talk about this if you just focus on if Messi
Yeah,
was European,
it's just gonna be on Messi. Trust me, it's just gonna be on Messi.
So just to round up.
I'll let you
sorry. Let Artist round up, then I'll come
That's my point. And then the only reason I brought up the tweet you mentioned is just the fact that, again, I don't like. I don't think it's a good idea to extrapolate. In answer to your question, to extrapolate. Hence, because the reason why people said Messi was going to destroy Liga is because Messi was so successful in La Liga. La Liga is a more competitive league. Ergo, Messi will come to Liga, a less competitive league with farmers, and destroy the league. And that didn't happen, but for various factors. So the reason why I posted that tweet is the same thing as that. Okay, yes, he destroyed Estonia, something like that, in a one-off friendly game. That doesn't necessarily mean, bearing in mind the completely, the history of Argentinian football management, etc. over the years. I mean, for goodness sake, Maradona as manager. I mean, what happened there, man? I don't think that necessarily translates into it. It might. I'm not saying it wouldn't.
No. But my response is that if we're comparing the worst teams in Uber Eats and the worst teams in Europe, there's a pretty big gap in quality. Because of course, because the issue is that you're playing against guys who don't play football full time in Europe.
Yeah, but you need to think of these things relative, because at the end of the day, PSG also like spending wise and talent wise completely dwarf like the bottom of the Liga. Yeah, okay, they're professionals, but let's be real. Let's look at the wage bill of PSG. These 11. I don't have to bring up that wage bill again.
No, Artist, it's true, but Artist, are you telling me that the gap in footballing quality between PSG and the bottom team in France is greater than the gap between Argentina and San Marino?
No. What I'm saying is don't extrapolate like we did the fact that because someone is really successful in one place that they're automatically successful in another. Hence the La Liga reference, because we assumed because La Liga was a better league than Ligue 1, it would just automatically translate. That's basically what I was trying to say, But ultimately, at the end of the day, just don't be shameless. That's all I'm saying, guys. Twitter is
the home for shamelessness, man.
Yeah, RDS would never say Ballon d'Or loading for like a 5-piece on Andorra, bro. Like,
he probably would, man.
Can we be honest? Like, both Messi and Ronaldo fans on Twitter are the most shameless group.
Yeah. They'll reach for anything. They'll reach for anything.
The only international footballer I should be seeing should be Gareth Bale. Because of what he achieved.
No. We're getting to Beastman. We're getting to Beastman.
Bale was insane.
Okay, Delta, talk to me.
Yeah, man. You know what's funny? It's just because I was hearing about this Mbappe interview, and he said South American teams wouldn't do as well against European teams. But Messi so far, he scored 5 against Estonia and 2 assists against Italy. Now imagine if Messi played for Spain, right? I would guarantee you who would have minimum 220 international goals by now. Like imagine, listen, hear me out. Imagine Messi against San Marino, Four Island, Kazakhstan, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Armenia, like all these teams that Ronaldo plays against. I think Israel plays for Europe too, because over there,
Israel in Europe, yeah.
Because over there in the Middle East, they have like geopolitical problems that they don't want to play against each other. So yeah, Israel is part of the UEFA, and I just gotta make this point, man, because the highest stadium in Europe at an altitude level is 2,000 meters above sea level, which is in Switzerland, and they don't actually play it. Messi has to travel to the other side of the world to play against Bolivia at 3,637 meters. Now, do you know how hard that is? Ricardo even mentioned players have to have gas tanks because they have trouble breathing. Bolivia, at their home stadium, they can beat anyone, pretty much anyone, because they're used to it. You just got to give credit to Messi where it's done because out of the top 5 scorers of all time, Messi's the only South American there. Like that's a dud. Like being top 5 of all time and being the only South American there, that's a dud. He just passed.
No. How's that a dud? Because it's South America. That has nothing to do with the dud.
It's dud. Because
no
other
dud
South
stands for.
Yeah, degree of difficulty, right?
How's the degree of difficulty that he's top 5 scorers of all time from South
Because
America?
that is the World Cup. The World Cup is a degree of difficulty. Like he almost had it. He had the degree of difficulty. He was one shot away, like one goal.
Yeah, but you know, back then with Argentina, they weren't really as cohesive and coherent as they are right now. But no, it's a fair point, man. RDS. Like,
no.
I mean, you're over there preaching for an own goal against Ukraine, man.
This is the problem. This is the problem is that when like all I'm saying is be fair, because this is the thing. Like even with this Messi thing, no one is talking about the team, the management, etc. When Messi does this, it's Messi is this, Messi's amazing, Messi's whatever, and then when he doesn't perform, when there's an issue, it's the management.
Y'all do the same thing with Ronaldo. Y'all do the same thing with Cristiano.
That's the same thing.
That's pretty much with every.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
That is literally the same thing with every superstar out there. Like when you perform at such a high level, you're gonna have these standards that you're gonna blame the people, the fans, the neutrals. They're gonna blame your teammates rather than you because you set the bar so high. They're not even gonna blame you. But if you're looking at it from an objective point of view, I think
Messi point of view, not to do that.
I think RDS is saying Cristiano gets hate when he loses, but he doesn't get praise when
he doesn't get hate. He literally
it's not
doesn't.
true. That is just not true.
Where
are you guys getting this from?
I'm not even talking about Ronaldo here.
We're pointing out the hypocrisy that's being said. Both of them experience both ends of the spectrum. If they score all the goals, they're the best player of all time, and when they lose, it's never their fault. It's like it's not just one way; it goes both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally.
But hold on, HH. I know you don't want me to mention him, but that's what I said. That certain guy from Portugal, if he played for South America, how many goals do you think he would have? Like, I won't mention his name.
It depends what team he plays for. Depends what team.
Okay, if he plays for Brazil, he'll bag.
If he plays for Brazil, he'll bag. For Argentina, I beg to differ.
Ricardo, how many goals do you think he'd have? Like
he wouldn't have 117 goals, that's for sure.
Would he surpass
Pelé? Have like 80 or 90.
He actually wouldn't because he has no creative outlet. But I mean, that's for a different story.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm just glad like people are realizing how tough South America really is. Because HH, I watched your video about Messi. You were talking about like Venezuela and Bolivia and how they're actually would compete. Because I don't believe even Estonia is the worst team in Europe. HH, I think it's San Marino or
San Marino the worst. They're the worst.
Not in Europe. They're the worst in the world.
Yeah, they're the worst in the world.
But back to RDS point about he said Estonia is ranked lower than Palestine. I mean that's not really a fair point because they play in Europe and Palestine. I don't know. They play in Asia. And they compete against lower tier teams. I mean, if Estonia was located in Eastern Asia or Western Asia, I mean, they'd probably have a better chance of ranking higher than these mediocre sides. But with respect to all aside, though, I think this is a good chance for Argentina to move forward. I think they're going to do well in the World Cup. And
wait, Delta.
This is what I'm.
Delta, see now. That's where I've got to wait. So hold on. This is where I've got to drop the brick because I've got to drop the brick. Delta, how can you use a win against Estonia as this is
not specifically against Estonia, but I feel like
it shouldn't even be a man. You can't go from Estonia to Argentina now candidates on the World Cup. It shouldn't even be involved.
But why not? It's still an impressive win, though.
And also, like, bottom line is, even if you bring Italy, yes, Italy are European champions, but also they're not actually going to be at the World Cup.
And also, they lost to North Macedonia.
Thank you.
North Macedonia. So basically, Italy in 2022 isn't the same as Italy in 2021. Italy with Chiesa is the same with Italy without Chiesa. Because, see, I've always said that Argentina will compete, and Argentina are not winning the World Cup.
How are they not winning the World Cup? How are they not among the favorites to win it?
I said they're not winning it. They're the favorites, but they're not winning it. I'm just saying they're not winning it.
What argument do you have against them not winning it?
Because when the going gets tough,
that's
Messi
fair,
will
though.
choke. That's what I believe.
That's
Antonio,
fair.
talk to me. Antonio, talk to me.
The ball, man. Lautaro Martinez, the ball.
God damn, this guy talks
Mhm.
so much.
All right, HS.
Antonio, please talk.
So, to me, I mean, great performance by Messi in Argentina, but it's just Estonia. Like, who cares? These guys, half
Why
of
is
them
there
are just
because
cooks.
why are you repping Peru here?
Just cause
They
I'm
want to
tired
know.
of the disrespect of
Oh,
freaking
South
South
America.
America.
Oh, okay,
And
repping
because
South.
here's the problem, HH. This European bias is just, it's insane. Like, going into this World Cup, I'm seeing so many European bias. Like, the thing that Mbappe just said recently, that Brazil and Argentina don't play tough games, that's just not true. And, you know, my country, Peru, we play in a very hard place to qualify in, and we barely get in. So imagine if a lot of these other countries in South America, whether you guys want to admit it or
Oh,
not,
when is your playoff?
next week, not next week, it's like June 13th, so the week after this
Okay, June
upcoming
13th.
week.
Cool.
And hopefully they get through. But if we were to play these trash, garbage European teams, not your elite European team, which is only a few. Let's stop saying Europe's the best, Europe's this. Yes, the elite of Europe, no one's better, right? Except for the elite of South America. Like, but that's another discussion. But the elite of Europe are amazing. But the down, like the mid tier and the down tier, like the trash tier, are awful. Like, the rest of the world is way better. The African teams are better. I'll even go to say some of the Asian teams are better. These European teams are straight, like, they're bad. Like, these guys are terrible. And you could say nah, but half these guys are probably cooks and stuff, and they're being called up and they're like, oh, I gotta go play. Hey, let me go play against
The
Messi.
lunch lady
Come on
and
now.
No.
Wait, I'm gonna have to hit back on the mid-tier European teams are good, like Switzerland.
Not them. Like, I'm talking
Yeah,
about the
they're
trash
mid-tier.
tier, man.
Those type of teams
Like,
are mid-tier.
No.
all right,
He's
those
saying
teams
trash
are
tier.
decent, but I'm talking about, now. Let me get down to the real. I'm talking about the really bad, like your San Marinos, your North
Oh no,
Macedonians.
they're the worst in
They're
the world.
awful.
The worst in
I
the
mean,
world.
these teams are awful, and you can't say that Europe's the hardest to qualify in if half of these European teams aren't facing each other. Like, the big European teams and even the mid tier, they're not playing each other as much as they're playing these terrible teams, and
So,
that's the truth.
I don't to interject to that, but the reality of European qualification, like, is that, and obviously European have more numbers, but the reality is that only the top two, because we're talking about qualification. Okay, fine. In almost every group, there might be two teams in those teams that will be garbage at the bottom. You're right about that. But the reality is that you still need to be in the top two of your group to actually qualify. I think even that. I think you're only guaranteed to qualify first, and then the second team you have to go to a playoff in order to get to the World Cup.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it would depend on the group though, because some groups will get two, and then one will have to do a playoff. It depends. I agree what you're saying, but the problem is in South America, only 5 teams go. One gets a playoff, and two spots are always set. Brazil and Argentina, because they're the best teams in literally the existence of the whole sport. So that's literally 3 spots to fight for. I think that's harder.
But that's still 5 out of 11. We're now talking about we're talking about 15 out of 55.
But RDS.
All right, but you're not putting the context that those teams are terrible.
The difference between
you can say out of the 55, but my thing is that every single team in South America knows how to play football.
Yes.
There are teams in Europe that don't know how to play this sports.
I know that. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, you're making, like, your argument seems to be you're making San Marino the benchmark for European teams. I'm not
saying that. I've not been saying that.
RDS, there are some groups I see where there are at least 2 or 3 teams that these guys don't know how to play football. Then there's like a mid-tier team, another pretty good team, then there's a big dog. So there's like a big dog, mid-tier team, then the other teams are either garbage trash or not very good.
And it's not even just 2 teams, but it's not even 2, Antonio, it's not even just 2 teams. Like, when Uruguay is actually decent to good, that's a 3rd spot already taken.
Yeah, honestly, man. Even Colombia too. Sometimes it's like you really got to dodge out here to really get into the World Cup of South America.
Look, hands down, like 100%.
It's the hardest.
I think the bottom line, like, South American qualification it has known from the beginning. Ever since I've been watching football, it's just been known that it is the hardest because
you can't
only
slip up.
because there are so few countries in South America. Everyone knows how to play football, so every game is tough.
Not only that,
but there are some teams where, like, literally, there's no point in even viewing it because these guys, they're just there to get pimped.
Uncle Moose said it himself, man. He said the South American qualifiers are the real qualifiers. Europe's qualifiers are a joke.
Here's the thing about South America, though. The thing is, like, a lot of the countries have a little bit of rivalries. There's always every team wants to get at another. And the thing is, like I think Ricardo said, the Bolivia, that's hard to go play in. I'm not saying that they're a great team, but in Bolivia, they're amazing because it's the place that they play in. The thing is that I would love to see some of these high-class European teams go play there simply because of the place. Just to see, like, it's hard to go play there because of even Ecuador too.
Let's be real. See, I still believe though that the best European teams, they would still test. Not
no,
test
they
you,
would
but,
still win.
But
they would still win. It'd be a struggle.
Win. But it would be basically.
Yeah.
Facts of the matter.
I agree.
They would find it. France, Spain, Germany, and so forth will find it much tougher beating Bolivia in Bolivia than beating San Marino, Lithuania anywhere.
No, I agree, HH. I'm not trying to hate on Europe. I just don't like the European bias, and it really is bothering me leading up to this World Cup.
No, I think the European bias comes from a place of facts. Most of the World Cups have been won by European teams.
No, yeah, that's true. They kind of own it right now.
Yeah, so when you look at the amount of times that you could assume, I always say that the best European teams are amongst the best in the world. That's why
I agree with that.
They think Europe, it's lopsided. It goes from extremely amazing to extremely trash. But South America, there's like a better balance of quality all the way through. So
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I do agree that the best European teams they're the best. I can't say nothing. It's the truth. But just to me, I just don't like some of the bias that they have the hardest qualification. That's my problem, I guess. I understand that the best teams, they're owning the World Cup right now. They also get more spots too. But the thing is that I really, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, no one is saying that European will have the hardest qualification. No one's saying that.
Well, Larry Mbappe just said that they go through. He said that they don't play enough top.
Bro, but Mbappe is like a player, bro. Mbappe don't understand shit.
No. I know, but some of the players probably think this. You don't think? And I've heard people say this.
No, basically, this whole thing was about Messi scoring 5 goals, and what would Messi do if he was European? Because Messi has to play in South America, and in South America and so forth. One qualification group, you are not touching that goals record because it's much harder to get a goals record playing there than playing in European qualification. So if Messi had the chance over 10 years to play against Lithuania, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, and all these dudes,
I think he would break the record, HH, in my opinion.
See, my argument is that I believe he would hold the record because if you just give Messi 10 years, and over 10 years, you can consistently play against guys who are amongst the worst teams on the planet.
He was stat bad.
Timers.
Yeah. HH, I just want to say, sorry for interrupting, but is that, well, Ronaldo holds the record, right? But the reason why I would argue why Messi would hold it is because, like I said, Spain, for the course of Messi and Ronaldo's career, has actually been probably one of the best national teams in terms of transitioning generations. Whereas Ronaldo's Portugal, when he was young, it was a good national team, and then once Figo, Rio Costa, and those guys left, they went through a period of like pretty much not so good players. So the team was on Ronaldo's back, and then obviously.
Because thank you. Someone said that, oh my gosh, pre-Ronaldo, the Portugal was trash and so forth. Again,
it's not true.
You're obviously young. Euro 2000, that Portuguese team was outstanding.
Even World Cup 2006, they had a decent team. They had a decent team.
They should have won the. They should have won it. They should have won in 2004 the Euros. I mean,
as well.
Like they made a semi in the World Cup in 06.
They always underperform sort of in big tournaments. I feel.
Okay, let me
Wait, can I say one more thing before I go?
Okay, last thing, then I'll come to Wilson. So I want everyone to speak.
All right, I'm gonna leave soon, but my last point is to answer the question: do I think Messi would he have the most international goals? It's a what if scenario. We can't say, so no one's right or wrong. In my opinion, because I feel that he's the better player than Ronaldo. That's just my opinion. We don't have to debate it, but I think he would outscore. Because those teams are terrible, and if he played for Spain, it would be like he's playing for Barca almost. So the chemistry would already be there, and he would just stat pad against these trash teams. But I'm not gonna use this game and be like, "Oh, Messi's the best player in the world. He's the greatest ever." No, this was just a friendly. It's a nice little stat padded against some trash team, but it's still impressive that he did 5 goals. But the team that they was playing is trash.
Let me come to your boy Vilton. Talk to me, my Vilton.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? How you guys doing, man?
Yeah, all good, man. All good, all good.
We good, bro. We good, bro.
What do you guys? You guys are talking about the Messi, Estonia thing.
Messi dropped the finals, and now is apparently a Ballon d'Or contender. That's
Ballon d'Or loading, bro.
I mean, we're not surprised anymore, man. I mean, Messi is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. So, I mean, it was against Estonia, so I mean, it's not really shocking. Like Estonia, there. I mean, didn't Ronaldo score like a brace or hat trick against them, something like that? So, I mean, it's Estonia. But as for I was hearing what Antonio was saying. Yeah, I do agree that South America qualifiers are obviously a little bit harder than European, just because of the fact that the only time a big European team don't make the World Cup if they join the same group. Like, for example, like the year when Sweden, I think, made it out, then Italy then failed to qualify in 2018, I think, World Cup qualify. And obviously this year they lost to North Macedonia, which is wow. And to be fair though, if Italy would have went against Portugal, one of the big one would have missed out. That's the only time I swear like big European team missed it out. But
are we just going to ignore the sirens?
Huh?
Yeah, sorry. I live in the hood. Hood times.
Milton's in custody, bro.
Oh, Milton's sirens, man.
Muhammad was really at work again. My fault.
Wait, what happened? I'm confused.
Free Milton, bro. Free Milton, bro. Free Milton.
Milton, please continue.
No, but yeah, like I do understand like the argument that if Messi play, if we're Zurian, but I don't like doing if like it's just always said like. Let's just do with the concept that we're in. But yeah, based on Messi track record, what the guy's over at 700 plus goals in his career, yeah, maybe he possibly does, because I've always said this. When you look at the Lewandowski goal record internationally wise, it's not his fault, but it's just like it's mostly against San Marino, Gibraltar, Romania, Armenia, Latvia, Andorra. And the only time he plays quality team are in the Euros and friendlies, and he doesn't perform that well against those teams, which is fair because I mean you're going against better defenders, better teams in general. So you're gonna struggle, but I mean, if Neymar, for example, Neymar has the best international record out of all of them. Like Neymar, the team that he scored the most against is Japan, and the team that Messi have scored against more is Bolivia, and Ronaldo, I think it's San Marino and and Gibraltar. So if you take all that into consider, yeah, Brazil and Argentina or Uruguay we're going against those teams.
But go on, man.
I guess I guess it's just the argument is about if Messi would have scored 200 plus goals. I think that's over exaggerating it, but yeah, for sure, he probably maybe be on 100 goals. But again, seeing it is believing it. You don't know what would have happened. What if it's all a what if scenario. But I've always said this all the time. Like South America qualifiers just tend to be a little bit harder than European qualifier because most of the time it's usually France in one group, then everybody else will just like mediocre average team. Like that's just how it is. The only time sometime you get like maybe a Italy and a Sweden in a group, or Italy or Switzerland in a group. So it happens. But honestly, for me, I could care less about this. Like Messi and Ronaldo, they still haven't scored in the World Cup World Cup knockout.
No.
Which is weird because they're the two best goal scorers I've ever seen in my lifetime.
No, Vilton, seriously, that is for me. That is the biggest mystery in all of football. How do you have the two greatest goal scorers the game has ever seen, and in several World Cup editions they have not managed to score a single goal in a World Cup knockouts game? That is insane.
Yeah, so maybe it might happen this year where one of them might score in the knockout, but we'll see, man. In Argentina, Argentina cowards. By the way, it's just they postponed the game against Brazil because they would rather go face against Estonia. They actually canceled the game on June 11th. They said they want to fly to Australia to play the game.
Neymar was talking trash, man. Your boy Neymar was
but can I ask a question? What's the point of that? I mean, it's not going to change anything. Y'all are first, Argentina are second. Nothing's going to change.
No. The point of that game, we want to end Argentina's streak because I'm tired of seeing 34 game unbeaten, bro. Like, who the hell do you think you are?
It's a rivalry, bro. A rivalry, man. Come on, man. All those games matter, man.
But at the end of the day, though, I see why we go down to the European. They've been dominating the World Cup for the last since 2002. They've been dominating it. So I see why people just say, "Oh, European is that." But when you deep it, I think South America is a little bit harder.
For me, South America have a great chance to win this year because I believe that France will beat themselves. Belgium, for me, have already passed their peak. Portugal, Fernando Santos tax. Spain, they're past their golden generation. So, if ever there was a time for Brazil and Argentina to say what's up, it's this. It's this one. This is the one. But this is why, like, I have no idea who's going to win because I can't see a clear winner. Like, the most obvious winner is France, but I believe that they will self implode.
Yeah. AJ, I just want to add to it. All those people that clowned Argentina's win over Italy, I just found it funny that Italy fielded a far worse team against Germany, and even Germany couldn't beat them. So, I mean, the quality of Germany needs to be spoken about as well.
Yeah, no, Germany ain't doing nothing. They do that. Okay, so Dragon, before I come to, let me just take some dots and I'll come to you, Dragon, man. PSG Delta Fanboy Society, oh God. Benzema ruined France's play. Messi won a Copa and beat Italy. Hashtag GOAT. Oh, thank you for that, Fanboy Society. Messi 5 goals, top to Ballon d'Or minimum. Benzema, camera tax. Okay, thank you for that, Delta Fanboy Society. Thank you, man. QC8, thank you very much, QC8. Always said South American qualifications the hardest. Yes. Mourinho said the same. Yep. People disrespect Pele, Maradona, international goals. Now you see why. Hashtag altitude. Oh, no, look. It's not even up for debate. South American qualifying is the hardest. That is just hands down. That's hands down the hardest qualification in the world. Hands down. Miss B Nation. If I never got hurt on my knee, I would have been playing professional football. Hey, big time if. You don't know if CR7 played for Brazil. Kian Sabe. Look, if Cristiano played for Brazil, he gets goals. Do Brazil win a World Cup with Cristiano in there? I think there's a good chance. If Brazil had like a clear, sharp shooter, clear-cut finisher, and whether it's Neymar or whoever is creating him, I think there's a good chance Brazil have a World Cup if you just have a cold-blooded finisher like a Cristiano in that team. So, your boy, CR7 will get a 2-piece against Czech Republic next game too. He probably will. He probably will, man. English Talent Safety says, flirting. Messi 5 goals versus Estonia. Harassment. Kane hat-trick versus... Is that Panama?
Spain.
Panama. That's Panama. That's Panama.
Yeah, that's Panama. Yeah, that's Panama.
Oh, Spain is red and yellow. Where do you see Spain there?
Bro, Spain is red and yellow, bro.
I see SPA. I don't see the flag. That's what it was Spain.
Sorry. Okay. It's a Panama flag. It's a Panama flag. You know, look, those Kane goals, there's a tax on those World Cup goals that Kane has, like Panama tax, man. I'm not counting those.
But do you know who's ranked last in the rankings?
Who? Panama.
San Marino.
Yeah,
the bottom in the world. Bro, I like literally when I was scrolling down to like I can screen share it. When I was scrolling down, I was like, I didn't even know.
Please screen share.
No, let me screen share.
There's like Haiti, Bahamas, and whoever is on it.
Let me screen share this. This is prepare to drop the brick, man. Prepare to drop the brick, man. This is
Bahamas, man. Shout out to Bahamas, man. Lovely. I think I went to Bahamas when I was young, man.
I didn't even know there was a country called Seychelles or
Seychelles. You've never heard of Seychelles?
There you go.
Bro.
You see that?
Man. I didn't hear that either, bro.
The flag is odd though.
Djibouti.
Like I didn't even know that Turks and Caicos Islands was even a country.
I know Cayman Islands exist, but what the hell is Cook?
And Eritrea, man, is a police state. Like it's a dictatorship police state.
It's like sheriff, bro. It's like sheriff.
If you look at this bottom thing, it's either islands or European nations. Literally, it's literally islands. Okay, apart from Bangladesh.
Have you ever seen?
Wait. Talking about island. Where's Madagascar?
Madagascar actually ranked quite high up. Actually, I think they're
because I was remembering when we lost to them and it just
where's Madagascar? I think they're 94th. So actually fairly.
Have you guys ever seen San Marino score a goal? These guys act like they won the World Cup.
Who remembers the time when Tahiti were in the Confederations Cup and when people were just tap at them?
Oh yeah. No.
Didn't they score against Nigeria?
No. But okay,
they did actually.
We didn't ask.
Oh, Michael, you did actually say that, bro.
So my thing though is I see this is why. Like Ricardo, you know what you just said. You know when Casemiro scored the goal and they went all crazy. That's when they shouldn't be allowed to play. That's just stupid. That's just
it's so embarrassing.
Ricardo, I have no time for that crap of like, oh my gosh, yeah, they scored.
They score a 1 goal after they conceded like 8. Like it's and they celebrate like crazy. You guys are doing backflips.
If yeah, like a Ghana seller and you want to go and score against, I don't know who's in goal nowadays, Courtois. You celebrate now. I mean, come on, bro.
He got his goal bonus. He got his goal bonus.
If you're losing 8-1, you don't. Adash3 says, just do it in the World Cup knockout rounds to end all debates. No, do it. Actually, no, win the World Cup. See, the bare minimum is scoring a World Cup knockouts. Actually, win the World Cup, bro. Dajo RF, talking about weather conditions, it's going to be interesting in Qatar. Heat and humidity, even in winter. By the way, where has Wisky been hashtag on loan? Look, the boy's been around, man. Actually, they say it's not going to be that hot, though, in November. It's going to be hot, but not that hot, I don't think.
But it's just, man, it's just, the vibe is just gone, man. Like, this is the time where me, all my family, we all come together to watch the World Cup, everybody. But gotta wait November.
Yeah, that's irritating
Qatar,
me,
they have
man.
the bag, man. Qatar,
I literally have school during that time, man.
Bruh.
And it's going to be during the day. How does that even work? People who have work, like,
So,
bro, I'm gonna be watching it at work.
No, so basically, we'll be watching the World Cup like this in some countries. We'll be watching the World Cup like this, like around like a freaking fire, man. I mean,
it'll be -10 here in Finland with 2 meters of snow.
-10.
I'm telling you, the passing rate for first term next year is going to go down because people ain't going to be paying attention in class, man. Just have the laptop in front of you. You know what to do.
It's going to be wild. So shout out to your boy John, who says Messi can score 6 goals and still win BDPR merchants. Also
Ballon d'Or.
And we'll still win the Ballon d'Or PR merchants. When we analyze players, I think as rational men we should ignore the fanboys. Benzema is the best player in the world this season. Messi's Messi, 1000%.
Yeah, well said. That's it.
Like for me, this is a beautiful dub. Cool, what Messi
Yeah,
but there is nothing Messi can do from now until the voting that will stop Benzema from winning the Ballon d'Or, because what Benzema did, he did it in La Liga and in the Champions League. And scoring 5 goals against Estonia will not negate the fact that you scored 6 Uber Eats goals. So, or was it 7?
I'd make a case that he actually had a better season than Messi last season as well. But it was the fact that he won.
There is a case.
It's the fact that he won.
Yeah, he didn't win it.
QC8 says this is not about Messi, it's Euro qualifying tax. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Basically, yeah, that's what it's about, Euro qualification. Dragon, I like it, AVI, but Celtics are losing to the Warriors.
Celtics in 6. Celtics in 6, man. Celtics in 6.
No, are you mad? No way. AJ Messi, RDS is always off topic. He's a joke. Messi is the GOAT.
These are the Messi fanboys. I'm telling you.
But see, like, look at your username though.
AJ, you know, man.
No. Seriously, RDS, like, basically, I was looking at my comments of the Messi video that I did, and the first video I said, "Oh, zero knowledge. You know nothing about football." From CR7 HD Football. I wonder what his comment is going to be. For me, at least make your username neutral.
Yeah.
The stupidity, man. RJ says, if Ligue is easy, why doesn't Mbappe score 30 plus per season? Because he's maybe saving himself for the UCL. And also, Mbappe isn't Messi and Ronaldo. Whoever said Mbappe was never on the level of Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of goal scoring. So what are we saying? Rodrigo Rodgers, your jinx knows.
Wow.
You know, Rodrigo will say, Rodrigo, I'll explain myself. I will explain
Bram
myself.
tax.
Bram tax.
Bro, that Bram tax caused the whole world war, bro. Putin's moving mad when he saw the HH video, bro.
Mohammed, watch yourself.
Bro, we need to put a trophy.
Mohammed, watch yourself. Mohammed.
I don't like HH. When Ukraine lost, I was actually scared for you because I was like, bro, if you do anything to Qatar, they'll come for you.
Also, look, basically, Rodrigo, guilty as charged, but I'm going to explain myself after. I explained what I did, why I did what I did, but I'll explain myself afterwards. Trust me. Sean Walsh, shout out to Sean. RDS did not understand the point. The point was to mock CL's goal record against bad teams like Estonia. HH, enjoy the $10, but hey, thank you, bro. Good content. My gift. RDS, read between the lines. Now, Sean, thank you for the gift, but Sean, would you have sensed this if I'd called Messi a Bombers loser? But still, I'm thankful for this. But see,
if I recall, Sean actually said that he was going to come on the stream if Messi didn't score a certain amount of goals, like in the Hangout, but seemed to sort of magically disappear when they got knocked out of the Champions League.
Gatlock, do you have the receipts? Gatlock, do you have the receipts?
Please bring them up. So, but that's what I'm saying, you know. So
wait, does Gatlock actually have the receipts? no, if you have the receipts, then I'm gonna end this Hangout, bro. if you literally pull out the receipts from your files, that would be scary. Gatlock, please don't tell me you have the receipts. Shorty boy, yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, thank God. But fun fact: most goals and assists in a winning major tournament. 1, World Cup 2010, David Villa. 6 goals and assists involved in 75%. Number 2.
So we're hurrying up here, not
Okay, all right. Thank you for that, man. All right, thank you. All right.
Wow.
2, Maradona 86, 10 goals and assists involved in 72%. Euros, CR7, 6 goals and assists, 67%.
HH, that's fake. What about Messi last Copa? When he scored 5 goals and 4 assists.
Delta,
relax.
Yeah.
How much was it, Delta? How much was it?
No. It was 9.
Thank you for this. Thank you for this stat, and ignore Delta's intrusion. And yeah, shout out to those top 5. I told you no. Maradona in '86 was money, bro. He was money.
If you want to know, it's actually 9 goal contributions and 12 goals for Argentina. So he was involved in 75% of the goals, which is more than Ronaldo.
Exactly, man.
Okay.
All right. A short boy here again who says that Neymar also has 74 and will get above 80. But the all-important thing, which is what I'm trying to explain to Vilton, is it's about the World Cup. The goal record means nothing. It's about Neymar delivering the World Cup for Brazil. Dragon, talk to me.
Yeah, listen, man. Regarding the qualification for both continents, South America is definitely harder. The teams are they're closer in quality from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched many games, Argentina, Brazil games, Uruguay games. The football quality is higher, in my opinion, when I watch those games. When I watch the European games, like when I watch England versus San Marino or Liechtenstein, it's like 8-0 every game. There's no competition. The other team can't even get into the other half. With the South America games, like, you might not know the players, but there are some ballers in the lower teams, and it's physical. I just find it more entertaining to watch as a purist, as a football fan. But Europe just has so many more countries that, of course, they're going to have better teams overall because there's just more countries.
And the point is, which is what Sean was alluding to, that if Messi has the chance on a consistent basis to play some of the worst teams on the planet, does he have the goals record? If over his tenure, over like a 10-year period, he every single year in qualification goes up against the worst teams on the planet, what is his goal? What is this guy's goal tally like?
I definitely think you can add about 20 to 25 goals onto his total already, because you put prime Messi in a top European team, he's gonna be stat padding in those qualifications.
He scored 5 goals in a UCL game.
Exactly. So you can just imagine, I would say probably 20, 25 onto his total now. I disagree with Red Devil. I think he was just hating. I can't lie, because South America is the quality overall.
What do you disagree with me specifically?
You were trying to just every point up that Antonio brought up. I can't remember everything you said. It was a while ago, but I just remember that I disagreed. But that's your opinion. That's fair.
No. You could disagree with me. It's fine, but like, you got to say specifically what you disagree with, so I can clarify. If it's
you don't need to clarify. I just wanted to let you know that I disagreed with what you said, bro. That's all I wanted to say.
He wants to know that he doesn't know what it is, but he just disagrees. That's what
I don't want you to clarify. You were wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want you to clarify. You're wrong. Right. Okay.
And you got to stop hating Messi, man. Like, the whole season, you brought up his league goals. Like, come on, man. We get it, man.
Oh, no. See, Dragon. See, that's not hating. That's just fact and something that has to be talked about. Because Dragon, I am still in shock that Messi scored so little goals on Uber Eats. Like for me, it's mixed because we all know how good this guy is and we all know how much of a freak of nature he is. So, Dragon, it makes no sense that for PSG, Messi had single digits in goals in Uber Eats.
You know what I will say about Messi during the season when they got knocked out of the Champions League and towards the end, I'll be honest. I thought he was not finished, but he wasn't an elite player anymore. I thought that he's not an elite top 5% player in the world and that his level has dropped lower. But over this international break, especially in the Italy game, I'm sorry, he was the best player on that pitch. And the guy that came third in the Ballon d'Or was so trash. Messi outperformed him. Messi in that game was like phenomenal. Like he looked like an elite player, which I didn't think he was.
Hold up.
What are we talking about?
Who came third at the Ballon d'Or?
Jorginho.
J5.
Wait, J5.
Hold up.
Chelsea's goal midfield.
How are you even making that comment of outperforming Jorginho?
But
that's not an achievement.
No, but that's just to prove how bad. That's just to prove how bad the voting was. That people actually thought this guy was the third best player in the world, which should never be the case. He's not a top 50 player. I just brought that up just to say that. But my point was that Messi, I thought he wasn't an elite player no more, but he still got it. He still got his dribbling, technical ability. His passing hasn't gone anywhere, and his creativity. I just feel like in PSG he doesn't fit. But
I need a goal in the World Cup knockout.
Well, we'll see what happens this year, but he definitely looks.
There's no see what happens. I need a goal. Because this is the last one. I need it. There's no see what happens. I need a goal in the World Cup knockout. I need a goal.
They can go far. And like, did you see one of the finishes for the goals today? Like he bought it top bins. Like,
I saw.
That was a finish. But that Italy game, that showed that he can still perform at the high level, which is required at the World Cup.
Let me come to your boy Mikey, man. Mike, talk to me, bro.
First off, I want to say tere, which means hi in Estonian, and also, do you know that the home stadium of the Estonian national team is called A Le Coq Arena? That is the actual stadium name.
A Le Coq Arena.
Yes, that is called A Le Coq Arena. Yes, but about this Messi and I had to bring it in because it's a beer company.
No, because I don't want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, don't want to elaborate.
You can do the math, but continue, please, Mike.
Yes, exactly. When it comes to the Messi and how he would do in Europe, I mean, come on, man. He's going to play against San Marino, Estonia. I lubricated Estonia when I was playing in youth teams here in Finland. We beat them 5-0, 6-0 all the time. They're trash. They're trash. I mean, Messi would score 3-4 goals each game against Luxembourg and Lithuania. That's what's going to happen. But I want to kind of bring a point on the qualification process that we all agree that South America has the hardest. And I would argue that actually Africa has the second hardest above Europe. I mean, honestly, you look at the conditions, referees.
And the pitches,
officials.
Organization tax.
Exactly.
So forth, yes.
I would say
transportation tax, yes.
I would say, honestly, Africa has second hardest. And then comes Europe, because in Europe, you have, like you guys have talked about, 2 to 3 hard teams in the group. Like, for example, here in Finland, we only had Bosnia, Finland, and Italy. That wasn't that hard of a group, and we managed to qualify. So it's super easy to qualify to the Euros from Europe. But when it comes to the World Cup, I'm agree with Wilton. I don't care what you do in qualifiers. Give me goals in the World Cup. That's what matters at the end of the day. And Ronaldo and Messi so far have 0 goals in the knockout stage. So, yeah, it's cool that he scored 5 goals against a B team of Estonia as well. It wasn't even their A team, it was their B team, because they have a game against San Marino next week, which I guess is more important to Estonia.
Drop the break. Drop.
Hold up.
Wait, Mike. So just to clarify, so what you're saying?
They arrested.
Estonia arrested their starting 11 against Argentina, so they could put out their best 11 in San Marino.
So that the Twitter could say Ballon d'Or loading, bro.
Because I have a couple of Estonian buddies, and they were talking to me. They were like, "Oh man, we're gonna get absolutely destroyed tonight. We're playing our B team." And I said, watch Messi score 4 goals, and then watch Twitter.
You know, Michael. Argentina also played their B team, so I guess it's fair,
PSG, please.
PSG, shut up, man. Wait.
Bloody fool.
Delta, shut the hell up.
Delta, how are you this shameless, man?
It's like I have no shame.
Mbappe FC Delta, bro. Mbappe FC
Bro,
Delta.
Argentina could have played their under 21s. It could have been Estonia.
No, it's like come on, like Argentina could have played their test tube babies. It's Estonia's beating, but the funny thing is that they're resting guys for San Marino. How do you rest guys for San Marino, bro?
They're like the same.
No, hold up. You can literally play Argentina in the morning, get test tubed. That same evening, play the same team with 0 rest and still give San Marino 7.
Yes.
That's how bad San Marino are. Let me come to Gatlock. Talk to me, man. Gatlock, Messi.
Sorry. Yeah, Estonia. Look, to be fair, yeah, I do think Messi would. I don't know if you reached the goal record, because the truth is, I don't know how much you take games against San Marino seriously if he plays in Europe. However, I do feel that he would basically start part against all these nursery teams like Gibraltar and some other funny names I can't pronounce. He'll start part in the qualifiers, therefore, and maybe in the group stage in the Euros or something. If he gets like, I don't know, maybe Poland or somebody, like, no disrespect to like the chick that won the tennis, like, no disrespect, but I mean Poland, except for Lewandowski and Zelensky and maybe Szczesny. I don't really know anybody else there. So he would start part against all these teams, but yeah, it's true. South America is the toughest. Like, I don't lie. Even FM when I was doing the country stuff, I literally went to go and manage Brazil because I got tired of playing in Euro qualifiers. Like, I just needed something to be a bit tough because that shit was too easy for me. So in that kind of scenario, yeah, like, I mean, you have to play like Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, and then the humidity and all those other stuff. And the fact that majority of these players actually play in Europe. So the fact that you have to travel all the way from Europe to yeah, exactly. So it's a scenario where it's like, yeah, for Messi against Estonia, I didn't even know this game was happening after the finalissima stuff that happened against Italy where they dominated. I didn't even know Argentina had another game to play, let alone against Estonia. So it's a scenario where it's like, yeah, I think he would start bad if he was in the qualifiers and whatnot. But it's hard to tell. Like, I mean, to be fair, what we're expecting, I don't know if this makes Argentina favorite. It is Estonia, but you know how they say to give them confidence boost anywhere. I don't know how.
No. The confidence boost was the Copa America win, not this. It was a Copa America win. This is just like baby food. Yeah,
but I admit Messi has been playing better with Argentina. I'm not talking about this game.
Oh no, for sure.
So yeah.
Okay, so guys, let's quickly run because we need to go through some other topics. So, Barry and SK, really brief. Messi and Argentina. Barry and SK. Barry.
Yeah. Well, like, you guys know me. Like, I'm a big Messi fan, one of my favorite players. But to be fair, like, I don't care really. Estonia, it is what it is, and yeah, if he maybe would have broke the record, because if he would have played for Spain, during that time, Spain was like undeniably one of the best, if not maybe like the best national team that we have seen when it comes to like playing, the chemistry between every players. So it would have been great for him, but yeah, maybe he would have broken the record. Imagine like a 2012 Messi playing against Estonia, Lithuania, all those countries, Well, like, I don't care. Good for him. Stop that. Yeah, move on, man.
SK, talk to me.
I'm probably gonna go a little bit with what RDS was saying, in the sense of you can't really extrapolate too much for one game to make a claim over what would be like a 15-year sample size. I mean, granted, I will say this though, and to your point, is Messi's goal record against European teams is actually pretty good, like his goals and assist record in general. So, I guess if we really wanted to kind of answer that question, sorry, it's my roommate in the back. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah. So if we really wanted to like figure out, we could probably like extrapolate from those games and kind of see, but I wouldn't really make. But I think that's just too much of a bold claim to make to just say it outright as a fact. But I can't see the logic for why you would think that though.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. Okay, so let me just introduce and then we'll go to our next topic. So shout out to your man says Iker Munian from Bilbao is really good. Would be a really good signing for any team in the world. Check him out. Barella and Munian would be nice. Yeah, no, like he is very good. 'Cause I think was it Bilbao against Barcelona. Copa del Rey game. I was like, who is this dude? And guy said, bro, like he's been sleeping on this guy. He's always been balling for Bilbao. Yeah, he's quality. And yeah, but I don't think Barella's leaving Inter though. I don't think he leaves Inter. Zaza, as a Kurd, I feel offended countries like San Marino even exist. Sorry for my San Marino guys, but it's the truth. Messi over Cristiano Ronaldo.
He got that nickname from me, huh?
Delta, just mute your mic. You see, for me, here's my, and this is no offense to San Marino. San Marino should not be allowed to play these games. They shouldn't, because for me, and it's no offense, it's like, there's no point in them playing, like, it is unfair for part-timers to play against the likes of Spain, Germany, England, Holland, and so forth. The way these are guys who do this full-time and at a high level. These guys do it, bro, we did a thing of like the San Marino football team, and we see, okay, banker, students, shop seller, steward, these guys all have normal jobs and they just do this on the sides. I mean, come on, bro.
I mean, the thing is, it's the hope of football. I mean, when Sheriff...
I know.
It's still bad, but I mean, let's be real. Remember when Sheriff beat Real Madrid? Like, their right back was their Twitter manager, you know, when he scored that.
RDS.
We were happy about
RDS, you just pulled up that table. Where was San Marino on that table that you pulled up?
Yeah, I mean...
And it's just though, you gotta let these countries participate.
No,
That's the only
no,
that's the only way they're gonna grow though, honestly. Because but you have to know though.
San Marino have been doing this for like over 20 years and they're still crap.
Yeah, 20 years. In Brazil, Argentina, Spain, these guys have been around since football started. So the football already developed.
Maybe they can invest in their academy.
For example, look at Iceland. Iceland got to the World Cup. Like in their population of what, 300,000 something people? They eliminated England from the Euros. That's the whole point of international football. It's for the globe. It's not.
And
you
also,
can't
like,
deny this country. Like,
wait. Hold on. Didn't Messi miss a penalty against a filmmaker?
Iceland. Yeah. So like,
now that I think about it, are we sure he'll start out? I'm just thinking about it right now. I wish he'll start.
World Cup pressure tax.
Wait till you hear this. There's going to be a new member of FIFA and UEFA, and it's going to be worse than San Marino. Welcome to FIFA Greenland.
It's just look at Samasi comment.
Sorry, 1 second, Wilton.
Hold up. Now, Mike.
I'm not joking. Google it.
Greenland is part of Canada.
Hold up, guys.
Penguins in Greenland than people.
First of all, how many? I don't think anybody lives in Greenland. So don't be surprised if you see a pregnant woman expecting with 5 kids having to play, because you have to fill the 11 people. You see, this is stuff that I don't like, man. Why do they have to?
No.
So we're not gonna now bring Greenland, bro.
No, HH.
Greenland, that's like Lord of the Rings and like dwarfs
and
and elves.
Stop being a leader,
No. Hold up. SK, wait. What trash came out of your mouth? Hold up. How am I being elitist by saying countries that literally have hardly anybody? Nobody's around because the countries are so small and they don't have the facilities or the money to actually invest in putting us a football team. How am I being elitist in saying that it is unfair for these guys to go up against people who have far more funds, far more people, far more access to facilities to develop a football team?
How those countries supposed to grow? It's how those countries.
No one's saying, because those countries exist, they should be at the World Cup.
No, Wilton, I'm saying, see, Iceland is also an example because Iceland actually have quite a few people, and also Iceland actually have access to facilities. If you're comparing Iceland's access to funds, facilities, and so forth compared to Greenland and San Marino, these guys,
hold on, bro. The gas station worker is gonna be there, bro.
But in South Asia, like Thailand and like Pakistan, did they even have a national team according to FIFA?
They do.
Well, first off, Pakistan is not in Southeast Asia.
Wait, it's just how do those countries supposed to
improve their
football?
No, Wilson. Here's the harsh reality. They can't because they're too small. Like this is just the harsh reality.
So football is not part of it's not the world. So it's not the world sport anymore. Then
it's forever. It's for whoever could have a stadium, bro.
Hey,
If you don't
HH,
have a stadium, bro, I don't know how you're supposed to.
it's about equal opportunity, not equal outcome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the
like,
gas station
you
workers
can't
don't
deny
complain?
their
feminists
rights.
get on
like-
you, bro.
And it's
Okay, go ahead.
No, but
Mike,
HH, you know what's crazy?
Mike, please make sure that we report on Greenland's first game, and so
I will.
And no-
I'll let
and
you
the
know when
thing
it
about
happens.
it is,
please,
I don't
Mike,
think-
let
You
me
know
know
what
when
annoys
Greenland's
me
first
about
game.
all this stuff?
unless
Is the
San
fact that-
Marino.
The thing is, you know what's going to be funny is that what would you bet if we're still saying all this and then 10 years from now, Greenland make it to a Euro or World Cup?
Exactly.
That's
you
the
don't
funny
know.
thing.
That's
We're
the
saying
funny
it
part.
now.
No, artists.
That might actually
Gatlo,
happen.
That's Disney
wait,
Plus,
hold up,
bro.
Gatlo, bring us your code. Hopefully, we're all here in 10 years' time or so. We know that world is crazy and Putin is moving crazy. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, we're here in 10, 20 years' time.
Because at the end of the day-
hold up. Gatlo, keep this recording. And tell you right now, artists, San Marino and Greenland, they're not sniffing a major competition. In 20, 30, 40 years, and for as long as we are alive, Greenland and San Marino are not sniffing a major competition. It is never happening.
I mean, we
I'm
know
saying that right now.
It
I
is.
mean, the power of you being an ultimate jinx, I think that gives Greenland a good chance.
No.
You imagine
That's true. That's true.
That can be possible.
Hold up.
Because
That's true. That's true.
Population.
if Greenland and San Marino actually,
Bro, just don't
I
say
don't
it
really care
again, or
about
it'll
Guys,
if they qualify.
No, guys. Let me show you a little something. Let me show you something. This. See, Mike. Thank you for sharing this. This is Greenland's population.
I'm surprised Vatican City doesn't have a team.
56,000. San Marino is 33,000. So
No,
I mean,
it's
it's
not.
not.
It literally
Because
said
HH is
48,000.
jinxing it so hard, they're gonna reach
Nah,
a
that
World
was
Cup
4
final.
hours.
bro.
Okay, no, look, guys. Let's
They're
get
going-
guys. Don't Wilson. You know what? Equal opportunity. Also, Ricardo, equal opportunity.
It
Wilson,
just
everyone should
says
be
World
fair
Cup.
enough.
Because of
I'm
your
the bad guy.
jinx, the Greenland message was just born right now. Because of
Wait,
yes.
hold on. One
Actually,
more
no.
thing.
It's even worse because Greenland will somehow play Nigeria and beat them. That's actually
Artists at this rate, at this rate, a bloody like bro. If Louisiana, coached by PSG Delta, had like a team, they'd beat Nigeria right now. That's how bad Nigeria right now.
That's not bad.
But wait, HS, hold on. One more thing. The new World Cup format. What's it going to be like? Because I didn't really get to see what's
It's in
the new format.
2026. It's in
Yeah, but
2026.
I know it's going to be in the U.S. and Canada and
Yeah.
Mexico, but I want to know what's it like.
Well, Europe
I know
Europe
it's
is going to get
bring
like
in
20 more
teams.
spots.
So they increased. So every quadrant, I think every confederate was obviously has increased as places. Europe, I think, get allocated number 5. Africa's, I think, goes to it's to 10 now, and South America goes to
one more.
One,
I think it is one more.
Two more.
And according to you guys, we could see San Marino in the next World Cup.
That'd be wild, man.
Jaden Alvarado, thanks for it. HH, USA tied against Uruguay, and a lot had changed in scouting for US soccer. USA 2026 World Cup chances.
We're winning it.
This is what I'll say about America. And my brother, who basically lives in America, told me that. My brother said, like, look, if America took football seriously, give them a few editions, they'll win it. Because America has everybody. You have Africans, you have Asians, you have South Americans, and so forth. But the issue is the football culture in America is exclusive to the white woman, mainly. The soccer moms and everything. If you made it much more accessible to poorer people and so forth, and much more in general, America would have an amazing team. Because America has pretty much so many people want to go to America from all parts of the world. Basically, look at what's happening with Canada right now. That's immigration.
Like, can I speak on America's?
You know about us Americans.
Can I speak on America's grassroots football initiative?
Quickly,
you know about us Americans. I feel like it's just our mentality just to go in and be our best, because all the best athletes are Americans. All the most famous people, all like Michael Jordan. I have high respect for that man. He basically revolutionized the NBA. And I feel like this too, HH. If we took soccer seriously, we'd probably be top 5 in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like we've seen it with the NBA, we've seen it with football. Now you guys are probably gonna call it egg hand or whatever.
It's American egg ball. Let's put it. It's American
but,
egg ball.
The best American athletes don't usually pick football because the culture in America aren't as excited for football as most other countries are.
No, I disagree because Tom Brady is like one of the greatest athletes ever.
No, but that's a special case. Like Tom Brady, if you keep it a stack, if you go interview Tom Brady, he gonna tell you, I don't give a shit about football. I just showed up and I brought my son just to get a signed shirt.
Muhammad, bro, what are you talking about, bro?
Wait,
Bro,
like, okay,
Tom Brady
here's the thing when it comes
if
to
I
American.
ask my colleagues, like my even anybody, like it's rare to see people who actually indulge in the culture of football in the United States, and maybe that's just where I am, but like
Perfect example, Mohammed. Yeah,
football.
perfect example. Stephen Curry. Yeah. Stephen Curry himself said it. He said the only time he watched football is during the World Cup. He said he doesn't really.
In fairness to the super chat actually specifically mentioned like America, like the USA's actually chances in the World Cup. So you have to look at it in the context of the group. Like for example, the group they're in is quite an interesting political group. You know,
no, it's for 2026 RDS.
No, he said 2026.
Uruguay. 2026. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Uruguay literally.
Hold on. Before it comes to SK, my thing though is because see, my first World Cup was 1994. And bro, that was an amazing World Cup in terms of the attendance.
94.
The
1894 or
94. Yes, 94.
This guy is old as hell.
But in terms of just to say it was, I said no. This thing, because look, nobody does like glitz and glamour like America, so it was amazing. So I think what you're going to see is, I think America will make a real concerted effort to do well in 2026 because 94 it was super early and everything. And let's be real, that 94 actually. That's, I think, really forced an upsurge in the MLS. So I think building up to 2026, I think America, but look, it's Super Bowl and everything. Super Bowl is all cool. This is the premier sporting competition. And we have to represent A4. Because I think, isn't it, every knockout game is in America.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
I think there's one in Canada, but I think most
so
of them
that's home field advantage.
The United States.
So if America, you want to put your best foot forward, if you want to if you think that we want to go far, we can't just be like, oh, let's just do what we do for the last few years. No, scouting, take it seriously, and now really and the work starts now to really build up to 26.
Yeah. So you're seeing this what's happening with France?
Wait, SK.
So the biggest thing when it comes to the sports culture in America, right, is that a lot of times like kids are recruited from a young age to play, specific sports. We've all heard the classic story before. You see a big black kid or some white weird ass coach comes with, hey, you should play some football. You're so big, right? Or you can play basketball. We'll get those rebounds or whatever, right? So because of that, I'm for the purposes of it being America, soccer, as what they would put it, is kind of just left to the back burner. It's just something that you do as a little kid. It's honestly
or for white girls.
Yeah, they're encouraged. The athletes are encouraged to play the other sports because in America the NFL is so hyped, the NBA is so hyped, and that's the one where everybody's like, oh, it's cool to be an NBA player or it's cool to be an NFL player. But in America, like even girls that don't know about sports, most of them like NFL. Like. It's weird. It's like people don't really take football seriously in America.
Nobody takes NFL seriously.
But listen, the big issue. Sorry, I just want to point that at least from understanding, correct me if I'm not American, that at the grassroots level, it is still a pay-to-play system.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I forgot to say that.
That's a fair point. About to make that point.
And it's so bad. Like the only time I see soccer fields is at schools, and obviously you can't just go to some random school's field and go play football. So like it's not even like oh, like there's just some random park that has 2 posts or anything. So like as opposed to you'll see basketball courts inside gyms, you see them outside gyms. Like so it's not accessible from that standpoint either, right? And it kind of snowballs. And that's not even to talk about America's culture when it comes to having things that are excessively big. Having big score lines, big players, so to speak, right? Like football, it's very down to earth, and because of that, it doesn't really appeal to the American market as much, too.
So let's just go through this because we're going to be here for ages, man. Let's just go through this. So Anthony Badani says, CS7 fanboys are sending fake stats. They're not real. Look, it's what these guys do, man. Yes says last Copa. by official rules, shouldn't have been played. Oh, yeah, because of the whole hang up on changing venues. But look, it is what it is, man. It still counts. Yes, says major tournaments equals World Cup, Euro, not last Copa. We know it. Yeah, it counts. I'm sorry, it counts. It counts. At -3, the raw quality isn't the highest, but Africa has 3 different climates, bad pitches, corrupt refs, and also poor organization as well. 5 spots for 54 teams. So no, basically, there's organization tax, preparation tax, transportation tax.
That's no different from South America, to be fair.
Laser tax.
And also, do you know? And let me not hold on. Let's not forget
Juju tax.
Wait. Also, hold up. To get slightly serious again. You know the plane that's crashed with that Brazilian team.
Yeah.
Do you know Messi used to take that plane?
Yeah,
that exact plane. I think like a few months prior, Messi and Argentinian team took that exact plane that those guys took. Scary, man. The boy Wing says, I can't stop thinking about Oos to CFC even at 3 a.m. Wing,
it's not happening.
Just
I hope he tears his ACL if he goes there.
What the hell?
LSG,
that's disgusting.
What do you mean that's disgusting? You were wishing for Benzema injury before Chelsea.
No, it's messed up. Hold up, David Rice says, would you beat San Marino with your boys? When were you with your boys? As in,
I think he's talking about the FIFA team.
No.
Where did that go?
No, with the starting 11.
You got trashed so much that you left.
Actually, no, come on, guys. If we laced up now, here's the
content
thing,
crack.
guys. I can only give you guys 7 minutes before my legs give away. So basically, just put me on for 7 crucial minutes, and then I have to go off injured.
Delta will get a hat trick, bro. Delta will get a hat trick, bro.
I think we'll do
I'm 6'5", so I could play goal.
Hey,
oh yeah, for set pieces, bro. For set pieces.
Dunkerman. Oh, Warriors easily the Warriors. Like, because
oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Warriors, no, if they lose, I'll be shocked.
No. If they lose, it's over. Like,
yo, HH. You should make a football video post on your channel. Do the crossbar challenge. You want to see the beautiful cut? Go to your local park, man. Go to your local park.
Moving on swiftly. A hole.
That was a good one.
Guys, Dodd, man. Guys, let's talk about Dodd. Let's talk about Dodd. So shout out to your boy RDS, who actually showed me about it. But actually won't even come to Mohammed first with it and then to RDS, because this what this guy did is done.
How come this was not the first topic?
Yeah, I want to talk on this. How
come this was not the first topic?
Look, Messi tax. You see, it's about the whole thing. It's about the whole thing, because my thing is you have to start first with the Euros. Then you look at Real Madrid. No, you start with Tottenham. Then you look at Real Madrid. Then you look at the 2 CL finals. Then you look at the Euros. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, did he score against Austria?
Yeah.
The game prior.
He scored both goals. Yeah, he scored.
The free kick off the crossbar, and then he scored a good driven shot from the left side.
So my thing is, he contributed to the win against Austria. Deflection or whatsoever, he still contributed to this goal score. So one thing is the whole pie. It's the contributed to the goal against Ukraine, deflection, the 2 goals against Austria to even get them here in the first place, what he did at the Euros to get them to a semi-final when they were actually 32 teams instead of the normal 16 and so forth. And for Real Madrid, there is no doubt this guy, Gareth Bale, aka Beast Mode, is the greatest British player of all time. These are facts.
One other thing. The Welsh goalkeeper, that guy was amazing today. The goalkeeper, Hennessy.
Oh yeah, he's actually why he's named after an alcoholic drink, I have no idea.
Off the Henny,
yeah. Hold on to Hennessy. No, but see, but my thing though is, you have to give this guy credit, because it's like, it's beast mode, because see, that is what I give credit for, because it's so good how we.
Wait, HH, this Mohamed Talah's comment, man. I mean, relax. Could you just bring that up? The Mohamed Talah's.
Oh god.
It's got Mohamed Talah. Mohamed Talah's comment. The Bale.
Okay, you know what? You know what? You know what? I'm going to put it up, but I'm not going to react.
Okay.
So the half of football hots, we just have viewers here, and the views of people on here have nothing to do with half of football hots trademark.
We don't endorse this.
Guys, I still need to take the bag.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yo, what the?
Red card? Question?
Bro, that's red card, bro.
That's red card, AJ.
Wait. You're saying red? No, bro. That's like you win. No, that's like prosecution. That's like you win.
That's a flagrant two. That's a flagrant two.
These guys are
that's a flagrant 8.
That's crimson. That's ruby. That's ruby.
That's a flagrant 8.
That's a headbutt by Zidane.
That's a rojo. That's a rojo right there.
No, that's a headbutt by Zidane.
Now,
then
hold
a
up.
send-off.
Let me now respond to this because I have to respond to this, Don. Here's the thing. Now, Rodrigo, now look. Here's the thing. Okay, guys. guys, if you keep laughing, I can't get through this. Okay, guys, now. I understand. But here's the thing, guys. For the purposes, because first of all, we still have to deal with Qatar.
You better be quiet. I feel for you because Qatar have people, man. Even in UK, man.
No.
They will shut your mouth.
My thing is, look. My thing is this. I just think that it wouldn't be in the best interest of the World Cup if Ukraine were there. And I had to just take matters into my own hands just to ensure that the World Cup standards would be upheld. Because my fear was Ukraine being in there and the Disney Plus that surrounds Ukraine, these guys could do something. And guys, first of all, I don't even know how, basically, this is tripled out by Bale because it's Wales and you're going up against Disney Plus. Because I bet anything that referee wanted to send off someone from Wales. That ref wanted to send someone off because
according to what I heard, there's also a penalty. I didn't watch it, but I just heard that.
Wait, a penalty for Wales or Ukraine?
Ukraine. Like Ukraine, honestly, I think it should have been a penalty, but you can't. It was Lahoz on the Spanish referee.
All right, I was about to say something, but I'm not going to say it because it's real. So let me not say that. But all I'm saying is that I think it's for the best Ukraine are not at this World Cup. I just think it's for the best, and I'm going to just leave it as that. But let's now get to Bale. So, look, Mohammed, man.
Yeah.
This guy's greatness, man.
I honestly believe Gareth Bale and his legacy and everything is one of the most disrespected footballers to play. Like,
is he still disrespected?
I don't like overall. Even from the Real Madrid fan base, like they were like I'm not trying to summarize like every single Real Madrid fan, but I'm saying. In terms of even the fans in the stadium whistling at Bale, but those same top blancos are trying to confirm Mbappe and cheering for Mbappe, but yet these are the same top blancos that were whistling Bale, bro. Like in the stadium.
Bro, if they can whistle Ronaldo, they can whistle Bale.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. Look, that's true. Look, I can agree with that. That's true. But for me, Gareth Bale and his legacy is just one of the most underrated footballers in my opinion, because it's not even only his that he can show up, but even on the eye test, like whether it's his strong foot or his weak foot. I used to watch him in Real Madrid, and even his delivery on his weaker foot, he was a very good winger. Whether it's he wasn't reliant on pace. In my opinion, he wasn't that reliant on pace. He was quick, but just the delivery from whether it's his right foot, left foot, free kicks, headers, and even the first header in the La Decima victory where he scored for Real Madrid. It was a quality header, and he anticipated Di Maria shooting it, and it deflected off Courtois, and he still followed it through and headed it. And then even with the when Madrid beat Liverpool and whatnot, when they beat us, that overhead kick, I feel like it needs to be talked about more, because as much as Cristiano's was also incredible, but Bale, like it was
harder to execute.
It was very hard to execute because the Marcelo, like he hit it. Marcelo hit it with his weak foot, and Bale literally did divine intervention by actually like that. like he was like in front of the ball, and then he readjusted his body and just slingshotted it with like it was just improvised. That's how difficult that is. It's not like with Cristiano, the cross was in the air for so long that it was improvised.
So you still believe that he's not
I feel like
he's not fully regarded well.
Like I feel like even it might have went sour and whatnot with Madrid, which is fair enough because he stayed maybe longer than he should have and whatnot. But as a football player, I feel like he's not talked about enough. Like even, I know maybe he was injury prone and he wasn't able to feature as much because the beef with Zidane when he messed up and told him I was fit for the El Clasico and he got injured halfway through. I think it went sour ever since then with that relationship. But what baffled me is Ancelotti is the one who brought him in, and he never really gave Bale his opportunities but even though they were still successful anyways. Look, the bottom line is for me, Bale is one of those players where he's very good directly and he's very good on the eye test as well, like which people don't really understand how rare that is. And he also shows up in the big moments, and he's been very crucial for Wales. Like the only recognizable names at Wales, right, is like Bale, Ramsey, and I swear even in that Euros, like bro, I think some guy named Vokes was the guy who scored a header. Like bro, these are some strange, like these are fruit sellers, bro. These are fruit sellers, and Bale.
I think there are more sheep than people in Wales.
Yeah, exactly. And bro, the things that Bale did for Wales is very like that's the definition of degree of difficulty. What Bale has done for Wales.
Okay, so before I come to artists, do you think he can get Wales through the group? So it's Wales, England, Iran, and the US of A.
I think so. I think Wales and England can go through. Like, and no disrespect to America, like, but come on, bro. Like Donkasic, bro. Donkasic, bro. Like, bro, relax, Delta. Like, bro, I'm not believing in Donkasic, bro. Like, relax, bro. That guy.
He's better than Salah, bro. Relax.
Hey, I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. I ain't gonna lawyer up for Salah, bro. Like, hey, man, it is what it is. Bro.
Okay, let me come to artists. So, artists, Bale, man, talk to me, man. I mean, put his greatness into real perspective, man. What this guy has done for Wales, man.
I mean, obviously, this is what annoyed me when all this Messi thing came around because I thought the emphasis should be on the achievement that this man has made. And to be honest, maybe this is a controversial take, but I think if you look at his combined legacy for club and country, it's better, in my opinion, than Neymar's, Messi's, and Ronaldo's. That's the club and country combined. I'm not saying individually, but combined for what he's achieved.
That's fair. That's fair.
Then it is. That's people are free to disagree, but the reality is that like Wales were dead. Like Wales haven't been into a World Cup in 64 years. Like just 64 years. So we could talk about easy qualifications. Okay, fine, cool. But at the end of the day, like
no. I mean, yes, like because when you just look at Real Madrid, what do you know? Wales. Wales ain't Argentina. Wales ain't Portugal because we know Eusebio. We know of Figo. We know of Rui Costa. We know of Maradona. We know of Batistuta.
Yeah.
Who the hell what's John Toshak?
Yeah. And it's not that Wales obviously had like, obviously Giggs was talented sort of, and then how else, but at the end of the day, like, did Giggs ever achieve what Bale has achieved?
Who didn't know that striker who always used to get into trouble? That his face looked like a mouse.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Played for Liverpool.
Yes. He was like a ruffian, going to get into trouble, and
I know you're talking
in the
about
gigs. No.
It's
Streets. Do you know?
He played for Liverpool as well.
Yes.
I remember him.
Yes.
But he also played for different. What was
Bellamy? Yes, Craig
Bellamy.
That's the one. Yes,
Bellamy, man. Yeah, Bellamy. Yeah, no. So, like, but did anyone who would achieve what Bale has achieved for club and country combined? No. So, and then that's not including, as you said, the fact that he managed to take this team to a European semi-final. Yes. And I think he only lost to Portugal by, was it 1 or 2 goals, I think?
It was 2-0. Nani and Cristiano.
Something like that, So, like, and obviously, Ronaldo went...
also beating Belgium on the way, which was mad.
I know. It's weird because a certain Eden Hazard was playing in the game as well, and I don't know what happened there.
RDS.
No.
I wanted to say that, and I said that. Hopefully, this guy's not going to bring in Hazard.
No.
This is Wales. This is Bale. Hopefully, this guy's going to bring.
It just I don't know. It just is what it is. I just because apparently that was when he was balling for Chelsea, and yet he couldn't defeat some fruit sellers. That's all I'm saying, you know. So, but yeah, like obviously he qualified previously, didn't do so well. So, but I just think that he, you know, yes, it's sad at Real Madrid. I get that, but even still, what he achieved at Real Madrid in of itself is far more than most players have achieved at Real Madrid, especially. His Champions League contributions and his league contributions. I don't know. It's like I agree with Mo. It's like I don't know why. Like this guy, for me, he's underrated just in general. Like, yeah, I appreciate he loves golf. He loves golf. He's not being involved, but just looking at what he's done for club when he combined, for me, he has a greater legacy in the game than Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar.
That's hilarious, RDS. That's
but
why is that hilarious?
But
because you're preaching for an own goal against fucking Ukraine, man. You're saying he has a better legacy than Messi.
Bro, look, no offense to Wilton, but I think Gareth Bale's legacy is way better than Neymar's. Like,
yeah, that's Neymar.
That's
though,
no
man.
disrespect. No disrespect. Like
Wilton,
Neymar is a better.
Wilton, you have your chance.
Wilton, get him.
Wait. Let me explain. Neymar's a better footballer. Understand my words.
You guys don't know what legacy means.
That's
what I'm saying, Wilton.
I want to emphasize.
But guys, you have to listen to what RDS is saying because he's talking about, first of all, the team he's with, what he's been able to achieve with this team, what he's having to work with, as well as what he has achieved with Real Madrid. It makes sense that this achievement, the legacy is greater than what Messi and Cristiano have done. Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. When you look at those Euros, yes, Cristiano did his thing and so forth. He wasn't the best player at that time. It was like if this was the main superstar. Okay, Messi. We remember those 3 finals. Yes, you won the Copa America and you balled out and so forth. But we also remember those 3 back-to-back finals losses. And also, you're working with Argentina. Cristiano, you're working with Portugal. But like
right.
The same thing with this is similar to Ibrahimovic and Sweden. Yeah. Sweden are a lot better than Wales, and Sweden came third in the '94 World Cup. Yeah. But do you know what people say about Ibra? Oh, come on, it's Sweden. If Ibra played for the and so forth, but Ibra, no, there's no excuse. Look at what Bale was able. What Bale is doing with Wales, I expect Ibra to have done with Sweden.
But he said combined club.
So most of my point is I'm getting to people hating in chat. Oh, you're saying it's like I don't understand why it's such a difficult. I'm talking about his contributions at club level combined with his
degree of difficulty.
In a degree of difficulty, I don't get why that's because like for me. Overall, if we're talking about football in general, instead of just this person, that's performed the highest level for their club of 6 years. For me, it's a combination of how you perform club or country. So,
club.
At the end of the day, this is me not saying that Neymar because this is what happens. They think I'm saying Neymar and Mbappe are trash. I'm not saying that at all. What I am trying to say is that the complete disrespect and almost underratedness that Gareth Bale's for what he's achieved with Wales, a team that had no business even being in the position that they are, and single-handedly, because it's not like even with
no help, like Argentina have help. Quaresma was helping Cristiano. Messi had Di Maria and Higuain combined.
Bro, like, Muhammad, that's not my point.
Brazil. Bro, you have to keep it honest, bro. It's not about biases.
Bale's club career is overrated.
Bro, Bale has nobody at Wales.
I'm talking about club. I'm talking about Real Madrid. He was carried by Cristiano.
I'm saying he's saying the degree of
I don't like Cristiano.
For combined.
He was carried by Cristiano.
Okay, Argentina had Higuain and Di Maria.
Let me finish. I've almost finished.
Let him finish.
First and foremost, the one thing again, people are going to, because they seem to be focusing solely on the club. I keep on emphasizing again. I'm not, of course, for solely club, he's not. Obviously, what I'm talking about is the whole picture, the combined. what he's done for his club, but also the degree of difficulty, the clutch moments for his club, but also the clutch moments for his country. The reality is that Wales is a small nation. Neymar, Mbappe, Ronaldo, all the rest of them have had very, very talented players in their squad with access to some of the best, well, relatively good coaches in world football, managing those teams. And Wales have not had that. So the fact that Wales have a team of single-handedly relied on this man to score key goals in key moments, and he's taken them to major final in the first time in 64 years and to a semi in Euros is impressive. Like it's like I don't get why that's such a difficult.
RDS, let me make a point. So Salah should be on that conversation too, right? Because he took Egypt to the World Cup in 2018 when he scored that penalty.
You're comparing Egypt.
It's not
to
the
Wales?
same.
Egypt to Wales. What's wrong with that? I think Wales are better than Egypt.
Bale destroyed Belgium and he destroyed Euros teams.
Wait, who does Egypt
Salah
have?
went and made a World Cup. How is that bigger than Bale?
Wait, hold up, Delta. Wait. See, Delta, this is how you're not engaging your brain. Delta, do you know who has won the most AFCONs in Africa?
I'm talking about World Cup, man.
Delta. This just shows how stupid you are. No, Delta, this just actually shows how, I don't mean to be rude, but this shows how stupid you are.
Who's ranked
No, hold up. Let me explain to you how stupid you are before I kick you off. Delta, here's the thing. You just said that, why don't we give credits to Salah for qualifying for the World Cup?
Yeah.
You realize that, how do you qualify for the World Cup from Africa? By playing other African teams. Salah plays for Egypt. Egypt have won the most AFCONs, which means that Egypt are amongst the best countries in Africa. So him qualifying from the World Cup by playing other African teams, how is that an achievement when you play for a team who has won the most AFCONs?
Well, because Salah, since it was like 1991 since Egypt were like qualified for the World Cup. I mean 1992 or 1994.
Are Egypt
was back in the 90s.
Are Egypt teams one of the best teams in Africa? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, are Wales teams one of the best teams?
Okay, well, let me hit the brick. Let me hit it with you. Let me hit him with this.
Damn bloody fool.
Oh man.
But I feel like with Wales, yes, Bale is their best player, but I don't think it's just Bale though. You got to give credit to the other players.
Bro, Delta, please name the star players at Wales.
No, hold on. Mention the other players.
Mention the other players, Delta.
Yeah,
the
Dan
star
James.
ones.
I mean, Dan James. No, listen, Dan James isn't.
The brick man.
Aaron Ramsey.
It's too much. It's too
No,
much.
wait.
So much brick takes it's making my head pulse.
Where's that one that has a crate of bricks that used to have a drop? That's one that
he has a Delta. I know he has a lot of agendas, obviously, but Hennessy was man of the match today. When Hennessy, the Wales goalkeeper, he was by far, like, without him, like, he pretty much did what Courtois did for Madrid in the Champions League final. He made save after save after save. Yes, Gareth Bale put the cross in, and the defender from Ukraine scored a goal. To be fair, Wales could have scored 2 more goals. Aaron Ramsey missed a sitter. Gareth Bale also missed a kind of easy goal that you think he scored.
Mm-hmm.
But when Hennessy, what he did today, that performance was world class, man, from that keeper. They really wanted to go to World Cup.
No, Bob, I'm not Wilson. That's true. But look, nobody literally single-handedly does it. Like, so
the closest person that you can maybe say Larry did it was probably maybe Maradona 86. Like, the closest.
But see, even when you look at Maradona 86, who scored the winning goal in that World Cup final? It wasn't Maradona. So nobody literally does it. But when it's that single-handedly, it's figuratively speaking.
Yeah, Bale is always a 10 out of 10 for Wales.
Yeah, bro, like, of course other guys have to contribute because it's 11 against 11. This isn't like Nadal against Federer or something. But my thing, though, is in terms of football and team sport, bro, Jordan had to give the ball to Steve Kerr for him to score that shot. So my thing, though, is figuratively speaking, how much Bale has done, he is a major contributor for where Wales are.
Yeah,
Ramsey has said what's up. Hennessy had said what's up. The dude that scored against Belgium, he said what's up in those Euros. But
like, based on
without Bale, Wales and without Bale there, and him being what he's doing and how he's playing, how he's influencing that team, Wales don't say anything.
Like Bale, Zidane, and Neymar, based on international, those guys, they always like obviously you guys, when I say anymore, you guys are gonna think I'm being bad. I'm talking about performing for their country.
No, that's
they
fair.
always
No,
shows
Neymar
up.
always
Like
performs. He always
they
performs.
always
Yes.
perform for their country.
Yeah.
So and Gareth Bale, it's rare for you. I don't think I've ever seen Gareth Bale drop even a 6 out of 10 for Wales. It's always an 8 or higher. Honestly,
I always respect that. I will always.
yeah,
always
because this
respect
is the
Legacy
crazy
also.
part. Bill, don't forget to, because at the beginning of the season we tried playing him. Ancelotti played Gareth Bale, but it didn't work out. So he was like, "Forget that. I'm gonna just play Benzema, Vinny, and Asensio and Rodrigo can fight for that right wing." But Gareth Bale hasn't played that many games. The fact that he went into that Australia game without playing that many games,
no rhythm, bro. That's another big thing. No rhythm,
which is weird. And today too, like the guy didn't play any game leading up to today's game, and he was probably the fittest person on the pitch. Granted, he came off in the 83rd minute, but the guy didn't look like he was in out of shape at all.
Wait, who did the Wales get knocked out by at the last Euros?
They went to the round of 16, I think, wasn't it?
No, they lost in the group, I think.
Denmark, wasn't it? It was Denmark. It was Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark. I think.
Yeah, round of 16 against Denmark. Yeah.
Can I go on this one?
But as for the whole legacy, man, you guys need to chill out about the legacy. Come on, man. In the next 30 years, man, like I love Gareth Bale, man. You say he's the greatest British player of all time. Like for me, it's just but based on your logic, he's not. Because you're a World Cup merchant, bro. Like I don't know why you're not mentioning Bobby Charlton.
He's not consistent.
Why aren't you mentioning Bobby Charlton? It's just they won the World Cup.
No, because Bale's dot argument wins. Look, shout outs to Bobby Charlton and so forth, but Bale's dot arguments it trumps whatever Charlton at the World Cup.
No, because exactly. It's just that
Wilton, it's Wales.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going on your logic.
You need to go to Wales.
No, I'm not
I've been
denying
to
that.
Wales.
I think Bale is the greatest British player ever.
Wait, wasn't Bobby Charlton in that plane crash though?
No, he's still alive. No, he's still alive.
Like the guy sits in the stands at Old Trafford.
I know. No, I didn't say he died in it. I said, wasn't he like?
He survived it.
Yes. Oh, okay. That's his.
Yes. He's one of the feet that's
surviving a plane crash.
But the whole legacy thing.
I'm confused. If you know he's alive, how you not know that he's survived?
I didn't say he died, Gatlock. I was just asking if it was in it.
Queen Lizzie.
I understand what RDS was trying to say, but at the end of the day, like Bale legacy, it's not better than Messi and Ronaldo, even Neymar, because at the end of the day, the way see most people, I don't know, everybody has their own perspective on it, but most people think because you won a lot of stuff, a lot of trophies, you think you go down as like you're gonna have a better legacy than certain players, because that's just how it is. Look at Zico. We still talk about Zico to this day, and Zico didn't win that many stuff. It's about your impact on how you play the game and how people saw you. Because at the end of the day, Shay, I'm sorry, in the next 30, 40 years, we'd be talking more about Neymar than Gareth Bale. Like that's just how it is. Like people think.
A lot of that,
but that's because of the PR and the little fucking documentary and shit.
No, but that's what I'm.
But that's down to popularity, because see, for me, like just for me, a guy again, that's why you have to look at perspectives. Like a guy who is a superstar, which is why I love the Ibrahimovic thing as well, because for a guy who is able to, as a superstar and a top player for a top club, to come to a country that has nowhere near close to a top tier player, to still use his influence and to make them overachieve based on based on what they have access to and their population and so forth. For me, that is an amazing achievement, because football is a very difficult game, and it's extremely hard for a guy, one man, to influence a team.
Yeah, we always gonna remember Gareth Bale because of the moments. But the thing about it, right? When you start bringing up legacy, like that run Neymar had in 14-15, like Bale never ever had a run like that in the Champions League. The reason why we remember Bale so much, he showed up in those moments, like the 2018 final.
No, but Wilson, you see, here's the thing though. If you want to look at that, what's going to remember more? What Neymar did amongst Messi and the Cannibal, or a guy scoring an overhead kick in the UCL final?
That's what I'm saying.
Got the assist against Bayern.
That's what I'm saying. That's why most people always think like Bale legacy is this and that. It's always going to be bigger than Ronaldo
because
and Messi.
It stands out more.
Yeah. It's the same way like Marigote. We always gonna remember that goal. Like we always gonna remember that goal against Argentina, because that's just how it is. That's just how football is. We always gonna remember the biggest moment. And Gareth Bale, he was really good at that. La Decima, he scored the second goal for us. 2018.
The key goal, yeah.
Came off the bench, scored probably be. I think honestly, It's still a debate for me. I still don't know which goal is better. Honestly, the Zidane or the Bale. But I would say Gareth Bale side just because it's an overhead kick.
Do you know what I say? Zidane's was better. Bale's was harder to execute.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's one time. Yeah.
Zidane had time. See, Bale, he had to catch it.
Yeah.
So he had to really just catch it because it wasn't a best cross. Zidane was just that Zidane just technically was a thing of beauty, but Bale, that's hard to do. That goal was very hard.
And it came from Bale, like the cross didn't come on his left side, so he kind of had to readjust to hit it with his left foot. So yeah, Gareth Bale, legend. I think he's the greatest British player according to my logic. It's just, though your logic, no, I'm sorry, Bobby Charlton has to be the GOAT for you, bro, because you're a World Cup merchant. You can't be switching up now, saying dot this, dot that. No,
Wilson. Ref tax 66. Ref tax.
But shout out to Gareth Bale. Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's just like Wales haven't gone to World Cup since 1958. That's what I'm saying. It took them 64 years. Maybe San Marino, Greenland, maybe in the next 100 years they might qualify. That's what me and Ricardo trying to explain to you. It's about equality, bro. You never know. Like 64 years. Like I don't even think anybody. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think anybody from that 58 team is still alive. Like it'd be kind of cool if they're still alive to see Wales at another World Cup. It'd be kind of cool. But the fact that if you're a Wales fan, you have to wait 64 years to see your team back at the World Cup.
And also remember in 58, were they even like
they lost in the round of 16, I think. Something like that.
But my thing is that were there even qualifications in 50? Because like how many teams were even in that 58 World Cup? Because again, not every country. Because
it was only I think it was only about 8 or 12 teams at the World Cup during that time. So, but shout out to Gareth Bale, man. I don't think they make it out the group. Honestly, I think USA and England go through. I think USA are slightly better than Wales
right now. I don't know. Let's see for me. That's a group.
England should definitely top the group. England's gonna top the group.
England should top, but Iran, USA, and Wales.
Iran beat USA. You heard it here first, man. Iran beat USA, man.
I'm not sure America make it out of that group, man. I'm not sure because I'm not putting money on America beating Wales with Bale.
Like who's putting money on Pulisic?
They're the best team in the country right now. If they don't make it out of this group, it's embarrassing, honestly.
So let me come to Ricardo. Talk to me, Ricardo Bale.
Yeah, look. First, I'm gonna give Bale his credit. Like going to the World Cup is an accomplishment just for some of these countries, which is like Wales, right? Like I've always said this about the World Cup. There's two different perspectives depending on the country you come from. If you're one of the big dogs in international football, you're expected to win this. This is not a parade. It's not a festival. This is a competition that you're expected to win. But if you're a country like Wales or within that, that nobody expects you to really do anything, just being there is an accomplishment on its own. And I feel like for Gareth Bale, this is a massive accomplishment. And like, look, for RDS's point, like I agree with him and I also disagree with him at the same time. Like you can say that what he's accomplished, given what he had to work with, yes, is more difficult than what the other three had to. But in terms of legacy, like unfortunately, football is brutal. Like it's not Messi's, Neymar's, or Ronaldo's fault that Gareth Bale is Welsh. That's his problem. It's unfortunate. That's the way it is. For some great like Ibrahimovic, had he been in a better footballing nation, he probably would be perceived a lot higher. But that's not the reality. He's Swedish. So, but with Gareth Bale, man, I've always held this opinion of him. I'm actually disappointed in him. Very disappointed in him, because when I saw this guy come out of Tottenham, I looked at this guy and I'm like, he's going to be one of the best players in the world. And he's going to be the face of Real Madrid post Ronaldo. Now, the guy's only 32. And when we look at players, like who have played well into their 30s, obviously the Messi, Ronaldos, the Benzemas, the Lewandowskis, Modric, Gareth Bale hasn't actually aged very well. All right. And it's weird because I've read this report about one of the Madrid doctors, when they do the medical every season in and out, but when they start the preseason. And one thing that this Real Madrid doctor says is that there was only one person that he's ever, on a scientific point of view, that he's seen that was more athletic than Cristiano Ronaldo. And he pointed out to be Gareth Bale. Now, it doesn't surprise me because I would disagree with Mohammed in the sense that he didn't think Gareth Bale relied on his physique a lot. I personally think he did. He relied a lot on his physical attributes. That was more his game. He's a very mechanical player. I never really thought he was like, like obviously the guys with like the crazy technique. Like I never thought he was one of those guys, but he was definitely your prototypical Premier League player. But he was so good that he could adapt elsewhere. But the reason why I say I'm so disappointed with Gareth Bale is because of, I mean, you can argue, yeah, the injuries are not his fault. They just happen to any players, and unfortunately, it's what ruins your career. However, based on like, we can be easily deceived based on what he's accomplished, because 5 Champions Leagues looks fantastic on paper. Anybody will take it. Like Nacho Fernandez's record, his trophy count is amazing, but he's been nothing more than pretty much a Swiss Army knife to Real Madrid's defense. But with Gareth Bale, when I'm looking at the Champions League, the 5 Champions Leagues he's won, 2013, 2014, he scored pretty much the game-winning goal. 2015, 16, he played, but that game went to penalty shootouts. The last 3 Champions League he's won, which is 2016-17, 17-18, and 21-22, he actually didn't even start those games. Now, obviously, for 16-17, he came in, scored probably the best Champions League goal of all time. Personally, I think it's actually Mandzukic's goal that's the best, because that was a crazy goal.
That was a crazy goal, yeah.
But Gareth Bale, probably top 3, because Zidane's is up there too. He scores that goal, and then Karius does what Karius does. But it is what it is. It's still, the goal is still credited under his name. So when we say 5 Champions Leagues, the last 2 Champions Leagues, he's really had no contributions at all, like very minimal contributions. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't get credit for that, but I'm just saying when you look at, when someone says 5 Champions Leagues, how pivotal was he to all those 5 Champions League? Now, maybe we'll talk about this in the next topic, but for someone like Modric, pivotal in all 5 of them. But for Gareth Bale, that's not exactly the case. Now, I also like to look at the league titles as well. He has 3 league titles under Real Madrid. Let's be honest, he was never going to win anything with Tottenham, so his Tottenham career is more based on what you judge him as a player. For his Real Madrid career, I would say domestically, this is where he falls short, which is what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty disappointed in him, because the only league title he's won that's worth of merit is 2016 and 2017. And then his last 2 league titles came in 2019, 2020, and 21-22. In 2019-20, he only played 16 games, and he only scored 2 goals. And then in his last La Liga title, which was this year, he played 5 games, only scored 1 goal. So a lot of the titles he's actually won at Real Madrid. Can somebody mute their mic? There's like, yeah. Sorry. You can really only give him credit for 1 La Liga title. You can really give him credit for 3 of the 5 Champions League titles. So it's like like his career in a sense can be deceiving, but at the end of the day, the transfer that Florentino Perez made has been a massive success. So I like to judge players based on how they play, not what they've accomplished, because you have your Arbeloas, you have your Sergio Robertos, you have your Nacho Fernandez's. I genuinely thought, when I was looking at this player from 2014, I thought he would be one of the best players in the world. He would be the face of Real Madrid, because this is what I believe as a fan I was sold on, that he was the next. He was the heir to Ronaldo at Real Madrid. And that has not been the case. It has not been the case. So to say he is the best, or what do you say, best or greatest? Because I think to me
greatest. That's the keyword, greatest. Because for me, I do agree. That word greatest. So greatest quality, achievements, impact, everything.
I don't know if I could, I could agree to the greatest argument based on what he had to work with. But based on the best, I don't know. But like I said, it depends on how you look at it. But I just think when you look at things in context, some things can be a bit over glorified in his club career. But in terms of his international career, like what RDS said is correct. Like, he's definitely overachieved with what he had to work with.
Can I ask one question? Question.
Go for it.
Yeah. Well, Ricardo, wouldn't you even? I don't know about you saying even for 2018, right? Like, maybe he wasn't featuring regularly, but wouldn't you say even his contribution for the final, like the fact that he's out of favor with Zidane, right? He's out of favor with Zidane. He broke his trust with Zidane, and he doesn't have rhythm in his legs, bro. You have to keep this in context. and then he comes in and does what he does. Yeah, it was Carrier's text for the second one, but the first one in specific, bro, like he did come on and he did change the game, and maybe people won't want to give him that credit, but for me, what he did, like
it's after the whole greatness thing, you know.
No,
off the bench, and
he showed up.
Yeah, to answer your question, like I did say, like I'll give him the credit for the game that he scored 2 goals, so it's really like 3 of 5 rather than 2 of 5 because he didn't start for those 3 games. But I'm saying more of the perception that we were sold on Gareth Bale. Like if
I wouldn't give him that. I wouldn't give him this year's UCL. I agree with you, but not.
He only showed up in 2 of them. He only showed up in 2 of them.
Which was but 2018 as well. 2018.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Show.
Yeah. He only out of those 5 UCL, he only showed up in 2 of them.
No, he also assisted Cristiano in 2014. He was the one who assisted.
No, that's what
Cristiano
I said. That's what I said.
Wait,
that's
guys,
what I said.
Because let me come through because I want everyone to have a chance to quickly have their say. Let me come to Gatlock. Toss me, Gatlock, Bale.
Bro, you see, I knew this guy was. I mean, I don't lie to you. I don't watch Tottenham, so I didn't really know much about him in Tottenham. But one of the shit that made me laugh was how this guy ran out of the field into the
Copa del Rey
trap. And bro, I don't know why Batra continued playing football after that. I'm pretty sure it was him, right?
Batra.
I know he scored in that final, but I'm pretty like I don't know why he kept on playing football. Like, bro,
he went to Dortmund, bro.
No, bro, like if someone can go out of the pitch, come back and get the ball and go and score, like that was bloody funny, man. That shit was funny, man. But yeah, man, like no, to be fair, Bale's Real Madrid career, look, to be fair, he may not have been part of the build-up. That's the reason why whenever people come at me with this BBC and MS versus MS, I'm like, bro, the first B was barely on the pitch because of injury tax. But the thing about Bale is that he always came up clutch. That's the thing. He always came up clutch. He scored in the final in 2014, although he did miss a few chances. He missed a lot of the chances. I remember that for 2014 final, he missed a lot of chances. But for 2016, he scored one of the penalties, and I heard it was even an injury when he scored the penalty. And he gave the assist to Ramos for that goal in 2016. So he was actually money. And 2017, he was injured. They played it in his home stadium, but he was injured. Couldn't do much about that. 2018, he scored. So technically, except for 2017 where he was injured, and obviously this year, 2022, the other Champions League, you could say final, he played his part. He did his best in what he could do. And for Wales, what he did in that 2016, you see, a team like Wales, I wasn't even paying attention to them because I don't lie, especially in the quarterfinals where I was expecting a certain Chelsea player, and then a certain Timberland up front.
Speak on it, Gatlock.
Nangolan, De Bruyne, Courtois. I had people telling me Belgium were going to win that Euros.
That's true.
How convincingly took them out. It was not a fluke of.
To be fair, Nangolan scored though. Nangolan scored.
Yeah, Nangolan scored.
I
That
wish
was it.
as well, not gonna lie.
Now, I'm sorry, but Wales literally took these guys out. I mean, took them out, and they even played Portugal. They competed against Portugal well. It just that's where Disney Plus decided to cut short. So it's like Bale really performed in this. In any time you want him, he may not be. He's like the opposite of Ronaldo in 2016, where it's like he didn't lead you to the place, but he finished it off. It's like what Vini and Rodrigo did this year for Real Madrid and Benzema. It's like he may not be part of the guys that take you there. I'm talking about Real Madrid, not Wales. Wales, he's there all the time. But for Real Madrid, he's usually injured around that time. But when it comes to the time, like in the final, he's always there. So for Bale, he's going to be remembered. Let's be honest, he is going to be remembered. If he's going to be remembered in Wales, Real Madrid, there are a lot of special players, but that overhead kick, he has cemented a place in history in the Champions League final, scoring one of the best I still don't understand how they did not make the postcards. They gave it to Salah for some funny goal he scored.
Like some dead goal versus Everton, bro. Like what the?
I still understand that, man. I still understand that. So he's going to be remembered. Let's be honest. He's going to be remembered. World Cup final. I mean Champions League final. Scoring in the 2014 as well. And what he has done for Wales to really take them to the World Cup in first time in 64 years or something. That's the start. And that he's going to be remembered. He's going to be remembered, like definitely. So
can I change just one thing to you? Do you consider Bale a consistent player, like throughout the years and seasons?
Oh no, I wouldn't say he's consistent. No.
So like a finals merchant, you would consider him like a big game, like if there was a final on the line, a trophy on the line.
Yeah, but basically I'll say he's consistent for Wales. That's I will say. 100% he is an extremely consistent international player. Same cannot be said for some other superstars.
I think he has the potential to be consistent for Real Madrid. He's just like get injured many times, so he doesn't have the chance.
You have to look at injuries as well, But yeah, like currently consistent for us. So who else wants to pop in on this before we go to our next thing? Zed?
Yeah, okay. So I wasn't gonna come on, but after the thing I just heard, I had to.
What did you hear that prompted you to come?
A certain United fan saying some
RDS
questionable things. Yes.
Okay.
Worst
thing. Hey, what were those things?
Something about Bale having the best legacy in football or some nonsense. Like
he does not have a better legacy than Messi, man.
He does.
Messi fans.
Could you just change your name to Messi Delta, please? Like
no, Mbappe FC. Mbappe FC Delta, bro.
Let me just make a note, because I think one of the reasons why people getting triggered is because they think that when I'm saying legacy, I mean that I'm saying that Bale is the best, most talented player in
football. I know that's not what you mean.
RDS, you've explained yourself like 5 times now. I don't think
it's okay.
There's no sugarcoating.
It's never going to be said. What RDS is saying is that it's club and country. I would say Messi is the greatest club player of all time. Nobody's touching Messi and Cristiano club-wise. But international-wise, Cristiano and Messi's achievements aren't great. Based on how good they are and how good their teams are, for me, they have underperformed internationally.
On this Hangout, we have a guy who came on and said, I disagree with you. I don't remember what you said. I disagree with you. I don't know why you're bothering explaining.
Okay, Zed. But there you go, Zed. Yeah.
I think
let's Zed. Look, credit to Bale, right? I mean, amazing accomplishment. Wales has no business getting to the World Cup.
Yep.
They have no business getting to the semifinals of the Euros. Credit to him. Amazing. He's consistent for Wales for whatever reason. All he knows how to do is play for Wales and play golf. That's it. And in terms of degree of difficulty, he trumps, I think, what Messi and Ronaldo have done for the country. That's easy to say. But in my opinion, when it comes to when you look at what Messi and Ronaldo have done for their club compared to what Bale has done, and country, but even just for their club, I think when you're talking about legacy, it trumps anything Bale's ever done. I mean, that's like what is legacy? Legacy is what is the impact you have. Legacy is what people remember you for when you've retired. You can go to the most remote parts of Africa, of Asia, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, kids will remember Messi and Ronaldo, or at least know about them and be inspired by their commitment to excellence, their consistency, their abilities. If go to we talked about the USA just now. There people in the USA don't give a shit about football, but they know about Messi and Ronaldo. Messi and Ronaldo
but then Zed, that is.
But legacy has nothing to do with
PR. Legacy is the impact you have. Legacy is what people remember.
It's not PR, bro. Legacy is not PR, bro.
That's not PR. That's nothing to do with PR.
Zed, you're bringing in now popularity.
No. I'm not.
Hold up. You're bringing in now popularity and the quality of play, because Cristiano and Messi, they're obviously better players, quality-wise and so forth. Mixed into that popularity, builders have a chance. This is a footballing conversation here, and we're talking about footballing legacy, not popularity legacy. Footballing legacy, and the fact of the matter is that
Bale has a better legacy. Forget Messi, even Ronaldo.
Zed. Thank you. Zed. The point of the matter is, when all is said and done, and people say, what are some of the greatest goals ever scored in the Champions League? Bale's goal is going to be up there. When all is said and done is that, bro, do you know that Bale inspired Wales to their first World Cup qualification in 60-something years? that will be Messi. That's not already a stat. That's already an amazing achievement of he qualified the Wales for the first time in 64 years, a country that is tiny. Wales is freaking tiny.
Okay.
And they know more, and they know more for rugby than everything.
Look, hold on. People remember Bale. People remember Bale in Wales, and they'll remember him maybe in Britain. They might remember him in Real Madrid. People all over the world over, every single corner, every remote corner of every country will remember Ronaldo, remember Messi. That's legacy, and that's not popularity. That's just based on their achievements. People remember Ronaldo for his for bringing the importance of obsession to detail, of extreme hard work, of maintaining your fitness year in year out. Something that LeBron and Tom Brady did for their sports. That's what Ronaldo brought to football. And players years from now will model their careers. Kids will model their careers based on that trait of Ronaldo. That's not something you can say for Bale. Bale. People remember Bale for doing what he did for Wales, but people in not just in football, but in sports, all different sports will model their careers based on what Messi and Ronaldo have done. People remember Messi for proving that you can be great even without being physically imposing, just by mastering the fundamentals. Using
wait, hold up, Zed. So Maradona never existed.
What? What? When did that? What?
No.
When does Maradona come into this? When did I say that about Maradona?
You just said that Messi proves to you that you can still be great without being physically imposing. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, but that's not mutually exclusive from saying that Maradona did the same thing. You can say two players. Yeah, Maradona did that for his generation.
By you saying that,
but Messi reiterated that. You're putting words into my mouth.
No. Okay, no, I'm not going to say that. When you saying that, like, Messi proved that you can still be great by not being physically imposing, means that he's the first guy to.
I did not say he was the first guy. I said
Maradona was a strong guy for being.
But that's kind of what you're implying.
That's what you
said.
When you said that,
Messi will not be remembered as that. Maradona will be remembered as that. Messi is just okay. He just.
But I don't think you're disagreeing with RDS though. Like what you said basically is copy and paste of what RDS said.
No, it's not. It's not
because you said
it's not copy and paste.
What I'm saying is Messi's legacy is that people will be players in not just in football but in all kinds of sports.
No.
For years to come, will be inspired by him.
Zed. You know that you're not actually responding to what RDS said. RDS's point was Bale's club and international legacy is better than Messi. He didn't say that Bale's legacy, full stop, is better. Of course, Messi's and Cristiano would be better based on them being better players.
It's the combination.
His club and international legacy, in terms of what he's achieved for club and international, is better than Messi and Cristiano.
And you yourself,
I'm not even sure what the
Hold up, let's respond. But can you not see it clearly?
Yeah. I'm just saying that's what I don't quite understand on that. That's literally based on the point. Like, I never said that Bale was the best. I never said that Cristiano or Messi or Mbappe have a worse footballing legacy. But when you look at what Bale has achieved in the club and country combined, like that, from what I can see objectively, he's achieved more in the game than Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar. But yeah, if you want to talk about inspirations, okay, fine. By all means,
exactly.
Club and country combined, because what I'm noticing also is that like a lot of people seem to be are discrediting what Bale's achievements because they're focusing on a few seasons of a dud from Real Madrid. So because he played golf for the last 2 seasons or so, that means that his legacy is completely irrelevant. Like what I'm trying to say is that like can we combine, instead of just focusing on one particular area, let's combine the two, look at both instead of just saying that all right, because he wasn't seen as one of the best players ever in the world that was going to overtake Messi or Ronaldo, I don't know, PR technical wise, that his legacy is irrelevant, or certainly.
Dude, I would argue.
Hold on.
I think people are misunderstanding legacy for achievement.
Let's say one thing.
Delta shush. Let's that land his point.
You're saying okay. So I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying if you consider both club and country, Bale's legacy, Bale's accomplishments trump Messi and Ronaldo. I would argue that as individuals, even if you just look at club, Messi and Ronaldo's club careers trump everything Bale's done. How can you argue that?
He's saying it's both. Bro,
You see, that's what I'm saying. People are looking at their achievements and not the negative. You guys understand what legacy means.
Your compression skills are lacking.
Wait, hold up. He said both, not just club. He said both. Club.
I know. He said both, and I'm saying if it's not both, even if you compare Bale's and Bale's careers for
You're
both
not looking
club
at
and
this
country.
from one perception, man. You're going from both.
I don't think his career for club and country trumps even Ronaldo's achievements for club and country, because Ronaldo's club achievements alone trump Bale's club and country achievements. So how can you argue that if you combine both, they trump Bale's?
Because Ronaldo had help in Portugal. Ronaldo had help in Portugal.
Muhammad,
let me
just tell you this.
Just what Ronaldo did at Real Madrid alone.
Let me take some dubs. Hold up. I need to take some dubs. Let's have a little break from this, man. Let's have a break.
Yeah, let's just move on from this topic.
Look how you done. Look how you done, bro.
So let's just see where we.
I'm moving like Putin.
All right. When wins against who else should? Undunkamau. I think what it is. So here in USA, all sports are pay to play. Yeah, which is so stupid. So I now have to pay and be rich to play football. Something that's, and remember, football, this is the working man's sport. So now I have to play to play for. That's stupid, bro.
It's pretty.
So they don't like academies. That's I have a 7-year-old kid who just wants to play in an academy, so and I have to pay like what, $100 or $50.
You have to have rich parents, or you have to be friends with like Beckham or something to play for Inter Miami. Or
that's just stupid, bro. English Talents FC.
It's $2 to $3 grand a year usually.
Yeah, it's something like that. Because for like age 18 to 14, it's like $275 for like a week training or something like that.
$275 a week?
Yeah.
Sometimes, but like when you sign for a club, like you pay them $2 to $3 grand, and then that's not including if you're a travel team, like an academy, you're paying thousands of dollars traveling across the U.S. All the gas money, that's $8 a gallon right now here.
So yeah, you forgot about the coaches too. You got to pay for the coach lessons.
So would you say that actually why US football is looking good in the way it's going, is it actually because of the system in the US, or because a lot of US players have gone abroad and developed there and are now coming back?
because
Pulisic's actually went abroad to develop. That's why he's like probably the best player ever.
But because if they go over there, in other countries, it's more workman like you could go from the ground up in England and Germany. You could work your way from the ground up and be recognized because people aren't playing favorites. In the US, like you have to have parents that's friends with Gary Neville's brother to play for Inter Miami or something like that. It's more of my parents are rich and I'll get a look in because I have a rich I have someone who's friends with my father or whatever the case may be.
So then in a sense, so I know we need to move on, but so then in a sense, it's not then going to be sustainable then, is it? Because then if the US football is going to be relying on constantly sending players to say Europe to develop, but they actually don't develop the homegrown players, like how sustainable is that?
It's not
sustainable.
It's not. Everybody has to go abroad, and not many people will have that kind of resources.
So English Talents FC says Bale qualifies Wales for World Cup since I wasn't 5 in 1958. I wasn't 5 in 1958. Shut up. That's stupid.
Bro, you said your first World Cup was 1894.
Kiran Prakash. Man City, Liverpool, PSG, Chelsea, United, Barca should file a complaint to court. Look, my jinx is not real. It's all about perception. It's not real.
I'm not sure about that.
Abdul says Gavi, youngest ever Spain goal scorer. Hey, look, guy's 17. Dude is 17, man. Shout out to Gavi, man. Patrick, Bale will drag Wales into the round of 16.
Doubt it.
It's going to be USA and England.
Bro, man, I think it's possible. It is possible.
It's possible. Be real, man.
Yeah, I'm being real. Yeah, Wales, Gulf, Madrid in that order. Oh yeah, I think he said that. I think he said that.
It was a sign. It was a sign.
Yeah, Misby Nation. Yeah, Wales, Gulf, Madrid was actually from Predrag Mihajlovic, who disrespected him. He was in revenge against the Spanish press. People get brainwashed.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Shout out Miss B Nation.
Shout out Miss B. Shout out Miss B. Casey, has better legacy than Salah, Giggs, Neymar. Interesting. Interesting.
I
don't think
you forgot the last two, bro.
Interesting. Latin Rosario. LSG beats her just here for entertainment and inshallah. Oh, that's harsh.
Lawton. All right, Lawton.
All right. Mikey, had Wales lost more Bale, had Wales lost, more likely Bale would have retired. But now he needs first team football. So where should he sign
That's
to?
a fair point, actually.
RDS.
Tottenham.
MLS.
RDS.
No, MLS.
Are you saying he should come to Chelsea?
I think
There's a million cards, man.
You take Bale at Chelsea
before the World Cup.
I would.
We
I
need
would
something
take
on
him
the
at
right
Liverpool,
side,
bro.
man.
Chelsea need
Chich, you've been twerking since Torby came in. Like, bro, even if you get Bale, after
imagine beast mode on the right flank, and also he'll be extra motivated because he
you don't understand. Beast mode is only going to appear up to December. That's it.
That's
I actually think he should go
because
to
we'll have
Serie
such
A.
a huge points lead. We'll be good, man.
HH, you're gonna end up with.
Oh, really? Okay.
Stop hating. Beast mode. Tarby, make the call. Shout out to your
If
boy.
Tad B shows up with 100 million Declan Rice, I'm gonna laugh, man.
Godlock, watch your mouth.
Did you know that like
Godlock, you watch your mouth? Don't
you know HH that they're negotiating a new contract for Mason Mount? You know that is a
which I'm going to tear up tomorrow. That's
Have you heard from Fabrizio Romano who said that J5 is getting a new contract?
No, he's not.
500K.
I'm tearing it up. Hold up. Haaland just bagged another 2 goals, led by Asov. I don't even like this type of players who aren't super technical. This dude's clinical prowess is a joke. Haaland, look, if Haaland doesn't go crazy in the EPL, man, Bundesliga tax is real, man. That's what I'm saying. Bundesliga tax is fully real.
Is somebody typing?
QC8. Legacy equals what you leave behind. How will you be remembered? One of the best goals ever in a UCL final, a goal that helped win Real Madrid La Decima and taking a team to their first World Cup since 1958, and also guiding a country where they are more sheep than people to a Euro semi. I think that's something to be
I think people are mixing up achievements with legacy. Not that I agree with RDS, but I feel that the people that are countering RDS are like what they've won and 5 Champions League, 4 Champions League, and it's like who's going to be remembered more? That's what legacy is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hold on. English Talent FC.
Yeah, for sure.
Ricardo is spot on. Similarities between Bale and peak Barca after 2011. People expected greatness. Only one UCL afterwards. Pep and Barca completed each other.
This seems like a dig. It seems like a dig to Barca from what I'm reading from this comment.
To be fair, even if it is a dig, I mean, he's not wrong, to be fair.
Shout out to boy, yes. CR7 Portugal's legacy greater than Bale's semi-final fluke.
No, see,
really,
come on, bro.
That's just hate.
Allow Bale, man.
Tapua, man. Shout out to your boy Tapua. Fanboys are triggered. They always get triggered, bro.
They are, man. Like RDS, man. You don't start.
No, but RDS isn't saying he's better than Messi and Cristiano outright, bro.
Mohammed, I don't think you understand how these fanboys work. They are illogical. Even if you make perfect sense, they can't see logic. These guys, they just see.
No, HH. If you do best beats for this hangar, you gotta add that part. I don't remember what you said. I just
yeah, I don't know what he said. I don't know what I
said, but I just disagree.
That was on point, man.
I don't know what I disagree about, but I disagree with your point. What point is that?
Let's do this. So, guys, now I want to come first to RDS with this, man. So,
hold on, HH. Can I ask you a question?
No. You can't. We have to move. Because I need to watch this NBA game, man. They haven't just watched this NBA game. So, I want to come to RDS with this point. RDS, it's a very simple question here. At their peak, who was better? And don't bring bias to it. At their peak, who was better? And also, let's not get into the whole racial thing. Like,
I was gonna say it's difficult when like one guy was racial and then was like banging his teammate's wife and just.
But also, do you know what I agree was? I think people even said this on ESPN FC. If you're doing like a top 5 of anything, you shouldn't put yourself there. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You should just say, okay, putting myself aside, boom, boom, boom. Like, you just should.
But exactly, I agree. I mean, okay.
Okay, sorry, but before you go, let me just put some context to people, because people say, "Oh, Terry." Now, I think maybe me and Ardis were probably around the same age. I think you have to forget that at a point, Rio was the most expensive defender, I think, in the world of the Premier League. And also, Rio, why he was such a talent was that he was one of the very few footballing defenders, i.e., he could defend, but he's also a very good football player.
Yeah,
similar to Anson.
Yeah,
so which is why he was a special, unique talent, and he was so coveted because it's like, oh wow, this is a defender who can actually play. So he was like what you see all these modern defenders now. So there was no defender quite like him. So he was unique and he stepped out. So you have to remember that about Rio. But Artist, talk to me.
It's a difficult one, man, because
they're both amazing. They're
both amazing, and also like they both work specific. Like
they complement.
Why? Okay. What I'll do say is why I will give it to Rio. Just I know people say, "Oh, United." Okay, but
of course,
and maybe and this I want to get the Barca fans' opinion on this. Is that I think that because I can't really split them, but maybe that Rio would have been less of a system player compared to Terry. I.e., if you put Rio in, say, the Barca Pep system, he probably would have. I think he would have borne more so than Terry in the Pep Barca system.
Yes.
So I think Terry suited Mourinho's obviously defensive style. So based on his, I just think that because of that, he's probably the slightly better player. But just if we're just talking just pure defending, I would probably just give it to Terry. I think just on pure defending, Terry is probably just a bit better. But I think as an overall football player, I think you've got to give it to Rio, because I think he's much more flexible.
I think that's a fair, because I think, look, based again, let's put racism and adultery to one side.
Yeah.
Like Terry was a damn good defender. Like that, just based on just pure defending, he was damn good. So again, this goes back to perspective. And I think basically what Arde said, I think unless anyone has anything else, I think Eric just put it perfectly. Pure defending, just the art of just defending. I think Terry will just defend. But if you're not saying defending, passing, balance on the ball, ability to play different systems and suit different styles of defending, as I just said, Rio could walk into any kind of team that wants any kind of thing from the defender. Or you want full on defending, or you want full on attacking, or you want me to do like in Real Madrid where we now play a high line and so forth. Rio can suit there. I don't know if John Terry works under Pep.
You know,
I really don't know whether he works under
Pep. A prime example would be against prime Messi between Rio and Terry, because I felt like Terry really kept Messi in his pocket while Rio, whatever happened in 2011. Because I felt like Terry, specifically when it comes against Messi, he really kept him shut. When it comes to defending, I don't think there's anyone in the Premier League history that's better than John Terry. Like I'd say he's probably the best defender in the Premier League history.
Actually, cool.
Can I ask
up there with Nesta?
Sorry, Ricardo, what do you say?
So I actually saw. I kept seeing Rio and Terry. Like, what is the situation? Like,
okay.
Wait,
let me truncate that. I'll just keep it very brief. So there was a game between QPR and Chelsea, and Terry basically like racially abused Anton Ferdinand.
No, I'm not talking about the race. I'm talking about like
situation.
Yeah, there was a video on YouTube.
The recent situation.
Okay. So basically, BT Sport, Rio was doing top 5 defenders in Premier League history, and then he put himself number 1, and I think Terry was 4 or 5 or something, and then Terry. Yeah, 5th. And then Terry then responded with like all of his accolades of like best 11, best defender and everything, and just said like, stats speak louder than so forth and everything. Then Rio then responded and saying that, like I wouldn't have even put you in based off the races with my brother and everything. And then Terry then said blah, blah, blah. So look, I mean, they will always have beef based on the whole Anton thing. But my thing here is that for Rio, you shouldn't put yourself in a top 5.
It's a little weird. It's like when Goat Naldo says I'm the greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's like even if like I just think that even if you are the best, if a guy is picking a top 5 just for it to make sense.
I usually say aside from myself, so it doesn't look
just
weird.
okay. Just putting myself to one side, so I don't want to be biased. These are the top 5, not including my myself, So look, and this is what I say to guys, that in my opinion, I will put Rio and Terry as a partnership up against any partnership in history. Give Nesta Cannavaro, what's it called? I'll put Rio and Terry at their peak up against any, because those guys at Defensive Partnership were freaking money, man. Those guys were money.
I don't know about Nesta and Cannavaro though, because Nesta and Cannavaro at their peak, I felt like they were better defenders and better players.
Throw in Maldini. Don't forget.
Yeah, throw in Maldini at left back.
Oh, yeah, Maldini.
Italian defending, HH. I think Italian defending is just the best. Like when you talk about Brazil, they say Brazil have the best football, but when it comes to defending, Italians do it the best.
England know how to defend.
Trust me, they do, but I think Italian is just number one.
If they're so good, why did they get slapped by Germany?
Dude, are you looking at this current Italian team, or you?
What? No, I'm talking about England.
Oh,
I mean, don't disrespect Maguire like that, man.
He's talking about Terry.
We're not going for England as of right now. So Zeman, what are you saying? Rio and Terry at the peak. Who's better?
This is difficult because I think Rio was just. I think he was the better footballer. Just in terms of modern game, this guy would fit in wonderful, like with the modern game, and I feel like he's more so. But with Terry, it's like what made him so great is the fact that. Let's not talk about the racial abuse and all that. I mean, how good is he really? If he couldn't, that's going deep. That's going too deep. But
that's
remember, I'm 12 years old. You shouldn't be talking to me like this. But yeah. I'll say this, man. I think that I think that just the fact that this guy wasn't fast, Terry, he wasn't a fast player. He wasn't gifted in that sense, and he had to rely on his ability to read the game a lot, more so than anything. I think that's just like that's incredible for center back, considering. But then again, asking that question of just who's a better defender, I would say that Terry was more of a better defender. But then again, Rio's just a complete package, just as a player. So. I feel like in terms of
which is why it's a tricky question, because even defending is cool, but then you have to bring in. So let's be real. I know we clown Pep and so forth, but Pep is amongst the best managers in the world, and for what Pep wants to do with his team, specifically his defenders, he will look more towards a Rio than a Terry.
Yeah, bro. I would take a Rio. I would take a Rio over Terry in a heartbeat, just based on what he is as a player, but. And
but that's based on what system you want to play, though. That's the thing, though. So obviously, maybe for your system, you're like, Rio suits more for what I want my defenders to do than, let's say, Terry. If let's say, look, I just want my defenders to be limited players and I'm much more of a defensive team where I don't want my defenders to push the midfield and the attack upfield. So.
Yeah, and then it comes down to also leadership. That's also a main vital point for being like for a defender. I think for center backs particularly, because they're usually the leaders in the back, and I guess you could say Terry kind of fits that mold of that leadership. So in that sense, I would say Terry's better, but then again, man, it's difficult. It's difficult to separate them, to be honest with you.
Anti-adultery and racism, aka Hokage. Who are you saying?
I mean, if we're going the modern game, I think Rio. But I mean, straight defending. Honestly, straight defending. I didn't see much of Terry in his when did Terry's peak end? Because I started watching football 2006, but really I could remember.
Clearly. Terry was on his peak. Also,
that was his peak. That was peak Terry.
Yeah, but I could, but that was 5, so I could remember more and after. So I can't really say much on Terry, but I saw Rio. I remember Rio through most of his prime, and that guy alongside Vidic was insane. But yeah, I think you guys basically said everything. Pure defending, from what I've heard and what people have said, and even from what I saw, it's got to be Terry pure defending. But if you're going off the complete package, and if you were to go off the modern game now, I think if you're gonna choose one of these center backs, you got to choose Rio. So
I'm just saying, guys, can you look at John Terry's face? Does that look like the face of a innocent, good guy? That's just look at what he looks.
Someone in the comment section said Terry's just a white Rudiger, man.
Hey, respect Rudiger. Respect Rudiger.
Wow.
Evidence. Talk to me. Rio or Terry, man.
You know what, Hitchich? Yeah. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan, yeah, but I'll be honest.
Take bias aside. Take bias aside.
Okay. So basically, what everyone has said, yeah, I agree. Like, I think Rio would, this modern football, yeah, Rio would fit into modern football more than Terry would. But what I would say though is Terry was actually good on the ball. Like people don't,
he was.
People don't give him credit for how good he was actually at passing, but I feel like Rio would fit into like today's game. So I feel like I'll go Rio just. But I think defending though, like putting your body on the line, I think Terry. Terry.
For pure, I think that's the thing. For just pure defending, see, because if you talk about defender in 2022, you have to talk about your passing, how you can, because again, almost every team they play out from the back. So every defender right now, in 2022, you are required because you're going to receive the ball from the keeper. That's what happened. Back in 05, 06, no, the keeper just moved along. So that wasn't required of you. It is now a requirement to be able to be good on the ball. And also remember, people are pressing you. So as a defender, you have to be somewhat press resistant.
Terry had to read the game, like really, because obviously he didn't have pace. So like he has to read the game. Yeah.
For pure defending, Terry, the guy was a defender, but like it was hard to get past Terry. It was hard.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a hard day to get past Terry. So and I think that's the key because that seemed like with like Puyol. Puyol wasn't that fast. So those guys who are not fast, they have to be a lot smarter and rely on their reading of the game and the anticipation to say what's up, which is what made Terry so good, man. So who else wants to?
Yeah, let me pop into this Terry.
Go for it.
I feel like John Terry is one of the greatest defenders of all time. Like truly, I remember watching him against that Champions League match in the semifinal against Barcelona and Chelsea, and what I've seen from Terry and what he did against 50 goals in a season on a league and 73 goals overall, Messi, how he just kept Messi quiet that night is still amazing. Because I felt like Barcelona just dominated Chelsea from minute 1 to minute 90. But what I've seen from Terry and what he accomplished with Chelsea, because remember, guys, I mean, Chelsea, as good as they are, he could have been to a bigger club like AC Milan, Real Madrid. Because I respect Nesta, I respect Cannavaro, I respect Maldini, I respect all those great defenders. But I think Terry's in that conversation when it comes to pure defending. I wouldn't say he's as good as Nesta or Baresi or Maldini, but when it comes to defending, he's right, just a level below them. And with Rio, I don't think he's a better player really, because I understand like. You could say he's like a better passer, maybe, he's better on the ball and stuff like that. But I don't really see how he's a better player. Like when you talk about strikers, right? You see a striker that scores more goals, but another striker who's really just more rounded, but he doesn't score as often. Would you say he's better than the other striker who scores more goals, or would you say he's still a better striker?
No. But that's my thing. That did you see Rio at his peak and see him play?
Wasn't really at his peak, but I remember watching the Champions League final. But I wouldn't say I've seen him as his true peak, like in the 26 World Cup, and what happened with England.
No, because I think like, which is why I say like when Rio came to, the big thing about him was that he was a guy who could defend, or was actually very good in the ball, which defenders at that time weren't very good in the ball because it was just hoof first. Pressing wasn't around. You didn't play from the back. So Rio was one of the very few defenders who was actually good on the ball and could actually had composure on the ball, which is what made him such a unique talent at the time. So
I'd also add that let's keep it a stack. Manchester United probably don't, like Sir Alex Ferguson probably doesn't win those back-to-back Premier Leagues like 3 in a row if he doesn't have that defensive duo of Rio and Vidic.
Yeah, absolutely. Although Vidic is a bit overrated, but yeah, I think Vidic and Rio was one of the best partnerships.
That was a very
good
Rio
carried him for a little bit though.
That was a very good partnership. So let me take some debates, man.
Can I talk on this for Corinthians?
Oh, sure. Filton.
I'm gonna just say this, right? How one is better. One, miss a penalty in the UCL final to have
their club win their first Champions League ever, and the other one actually won the Champions League against him.
HH got PTSD, bro.
So
HH got PTSD.
there it is.
Wilson,
got PTSD.
fair point, man. That's
Wilson, I'll think twice before giving you the mic next time.
Wait, HH. So the debate here is Rio versus Terry.
Yeah, peak Rio versus peak Terry. Oh, Red, do you have your tooth back now?
Oh yeah, we're good, HH. We're good.
Oh shit, what happened,
I wasted
bro?
no time. Immediately.
You got into a fight, bro?
Pardon?
No. He had a AGM accident. So peak Rio or peak Terry?
Oh.
Yo. So yeah, no, like to be honest, I don't even know how this is a debate. Like to be honest, like everybody know, like it was always common consensus that Terry was clear of Rio Ferdinand.
Exactly.
Like it wasn't even like Terry. I'm a Real Madrid fan, so you know how much I like Sergio Ramos, all this stuff. But like, in my opinion, honestly, in my whole lifetime, I think Terry's the best defender that I ever watched live. During my lifetime, because like I know Maldini, Nesta, all those guys, but to be honest with you, I was too young when they were really at their primes, and I really not caught them at the tail end of their career where they were a bit past it. But like I started watching football around like 2006, 2007. That's when I started watching season consistently, and like everybody knew Chelsea's defense was like unpenetrable at the time, and Terry was a big reason for that. You had Terry, Ashley Cole, obviously Carvalho, but Terry by far, like in my like as a defender, as a pure defender, if you want, like I don't care about like he can't play in the like he can only play in a low block, he can't play a high. Who cares about that? When it comes to defending, like I just feel like Terry's just he's probably the best, at least the best English defender we've seen since the turn of the century.
Let me hear this from Abdallah Al-Mami, who says, Toad B. Hashtag CCL. Hashtag West London Blues. Hashtag. You see, Abdallah, here's the thing, though, is that what was the score in last year's UCL final? I can't remember. If you can remember, what was the score in last year's UCL? Just, I mean, maybe you can tell me. Thank you. Oh, God. Now, this is scary. Kim Jong-un. All right. All right. Okay.
What is wrong with people, man?
Thanks, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Yeah. Thanks, Kimberly. Prime defending, Terry, impact and leadership, Rio. For me, outside Rio was more talented. Terry was just the better defender.
Terry
but
was
Rio
a warrior, man.
A greater
He
talent.
was a warrior. Not gonna lie. This guy, it don't matter if the attacker is gonna hurt him. He will put his body on the line.
So did Terry. Look at what Terry did in 2010.
No, yeah, I'm talking about John Terry. Like I don't the iconic. I don't know what game it was.
Go to YouTube. I can't remember what game it is. I think it was England or something. I think it was inside the box. Terry literally dove without his hands and just dove with his head, like how like a seal dives. He basically dove like this to block a ball. I was like, okay, this guy's different.
Just like Maguire. Just like Maguire.
He risked his life. Imagine if he kicked his neck.
Okay. I don't know where you're going with that, but Delta.
The man say Maguire, bro.
Doing quite. Game 2 pops to the. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get to the NBA. I'm keeping track down scores. I'm keeping track down scores, man. And promo. HH, you're wrong. Van Dijk puts Rio number 1. For me, I think we've reached the right consensus. Pure defending, Terry. Overall talent, Rio. 88 bust up. Rio wasn't the only ball-playing defender back then. He was just the English version. I don't recall Hero or Matthias Sammer ever clearing the ball. There were many of them. It's not a modern thing.
The center of attention of Man United.
Wait, what the frick?
That he knows me.
The hell? Okay. Yeah, that was just weird. So I don't know what that was written. Or that was maybe his echo. See, my thing though is for Rio's time, Matthias Sammer was before Rio. Remember, Hero and Matthias Sammer, those guys from the 90s. So during Rio's peak, Sammer and Hero had already retired. So Rio, during his peak, he was probably one of the very few. I didn't say he was only one of the very few ball-playing centre backs because this was after Hero and Matthias Sammer. Even for Hero and Matthias Sammer, as I say, there were very few of them. There were not that many of them. Back in the 80s, 90s, so forth, there were very, very few of them. Now, everybody has to be a ball-playing centre back. But during Rio's time, Sammer and Hero had already retired already. So, guys, let's final topic, man. Let's do this, man. All right, guys. Here we go.
It's just obviously you have to be on our side based on your dot argument. Like based on your dot argument, you know which midfield trio you have to pick, man.
Oh, look, here's it.
Yeah, the better.
But then again, though, you are
not the German trunk.
You're a World Cup merchant too, so
here's the thing. Because because it's also Wilson, it is tricky. It is tricky because my thing is Whoa, what?
Damn. What the heck?
Wow, is
this, who's getting nicked?
Bastard.
Mohammed, bro, were you in custody,
so
bro?
Hold on. So my thing though is that look, are you a UCL merchant or are you a UCL treble international merchant? Because on one hand, you had guys who were. Was Busquets in 08 for the Euros?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No,
he wasn't.
Because it was Marcos Senna.
Yeah, he was.
Xavi,
yeah, 2012.
2012. So was Busquets in 2010?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
so
he was.
2010.
He played the final with Chich. Come on.
Yeah. So basically, you have a Euro 3 who were part of two international trophies, and can we say 2 trebles? How much was Xavi involved in 2015?
He wasn't.
He was a
journeyman. Okay. So we have guys. So a treble, 2 international trophies, and you can even throw in a 2011 based on their performance over there. And we have other guys who now Kroos wasn't in 2014.
So wasn't Casemiro.
So wasn't Casemiro. Madrid won one.
So we have guys. So we're saying four UCLs and a 3-piece.
I thought Casemiro was in 2014.
He was on the team.
He was on the bench. He was on the bench. He was on the bench.
He reached prominence afterwards. He wasn't on there.
Red, where was Casemiro in 2014? Red.
He was with Madrid.
He was on the bench.
Yeah, he was on the bench.
Xabi Alonso was the DM and Khedira.
Khedira played the final because Alonso was suspended for the final.
Yep. But I mean, during the entire campaign, Casemiro was just a squad player.
Yeah,
he wasn't really vital to the team at all. So Casemiro has 4 Champions Leagues. Modric has 5, and Kroos has 5. But only one was with Bayern.
Yeah, and all together they have 4, right?
Yeah,
and bro, we don't count.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question before we start the debate?
Yeah, go for it.
See, this debate is weird. I feel like it's important that we emphasize more club achievements because how can we give the Spanish trio international achievements when Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric
you can't discount. You
can't leave that out, man. You can't leave that out.
But you can't disregard it, though. It's an achievement regardless.
If Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric were on the same national team, I guarantee you
but you can't disregard it, though, because it's an achievement they did. No, I'm not saying little the Casemiro. No, I'm saying
it's not fair for Kroos, Casemiro, Modric.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, it's an achievement, though. You can't overlook.
Yeah, an achievement that Casemiro and Modric couldn't get. So how can you compare them if they couldn't?
Because they still did it.
But at the same time, it's an achievement. You can't disregard it.
But you say it's a dictatorship. So what do you think we should do?
No, but
no. Because I'm thinking.
You can't disregard it. You can't disregard it.
An achievement is an achievement. It is true that we can't disregard it, but I get where Hokage is coming from. If we're comparing 2 things, and we now want to do a fair comparison, we have to just use criteria that is fair to both cases.
Wait, hold on. So if you're saying that, then you're actually putting the accomplishments of what Barcelona's trio did as a disadvantage towards the repertoire of what they accomplished together.
How so?
Can I jump in real quick on this? Because how do you guys want to name their Spanish achievements when they weren't even played as a midfield 3 for Spain? First of all, Spain fielded 7 midfielders. Iniesta wasn't even on the midfield; he was on the right wing. Xavi, for the most part, was on the left.
Fabregas was also there as well.
Fabregas was in the midfield as a false 9. You had Xabi Alonso was in there.
David Silva.
They didn't play a striker.
David Silva.
That doesn't change the impact.
Let me just land with my point. So when we're mentioning Real Madrid's trio's accolades, they were playing as a midfield 3 in all those games. In those Champions League run from 2016 till now, they were all a midfield 3. Right, so it's all of them were starting every game, aside from the games where they're suspended or injured.
No. I think they work as good though.
Because let's keep it real, man. It's what's it called? In 2012, David Silva was on the pitch. Matt was on the pitch. Fabregas was on the pitch. So literally, it was like a freaking midfield squad.
And Alonso, Alonso.
So yeah, so really,
striker,
2012, that team did not rely on that three to function in the midfield. There were like 5 or 6 guys
You
that
still
were
can't.
functioning
You
in
still
the
can't
midfield.
eliminate the accomplishment. You still can't do that.
The thing is,
no, Ricardo, what is this? This discussion is about this three against this three. So because if we're now bringing Spain, then we have to mention Fabregas. We have to now mention Thingy. We're saying that which is the best midfield three? Which is that how well did this midfield unit work against his midfield unit? Because if we bring in Spain, we have to talk Fabregas. We have to talk David Silva.
But you
because
can make
the
it
way
about
Wait, hold on. You could say that about Isco. You could say that about Isco and Valverde.
Yeah, and Camavinga this year too.
Bro, Kroos was a bum, bro.
Yeah, journeyman Valverde,
He was
man.
on life
No,
support.
hold up, wait. No, Mohammed, hold up, Mohammed.
Wait, Mohammed, you said Kroos was a bum?
Are you saying Isco?
No, this season.
No,
This
hold up,
season.
Mohammed. Are you saying Isco and Camavinga had as much impact
Bro,
as
I'm saying it
Fabregas
like
and
this.
so forth?
This season, Kroos was on life support, bro.
But
the whole season,
Mohammed,
he was on life support.
That man said life support.
Does not last 80 minutes.
Hold up, order. Let's have some order.
Go ahead.
Guys, hold up. Everyone hold up. Let's have some order.
Order in the court.
We have to go one cut. Ricardo,
yeah,
go up. Who is better and why? Give you some reasons. Who is better and why?
Like, I can't agree with the fact you just discount what they've done internationally.
No. Use whatever criteria you want, but explain yourself.
Okay, I'm using club and international. Now we could say that it's unfair to Madrid's trio because they don't play internationally together, but you could still. I would like to say I would still give them credit for what they have. What they have almost accomplished on the international level. Like Kroos won a World Cup, credit to him. Casemiro, he won a Copa America. Modric went to the finals, led his team to a finals of a World Cup. Now, I will say that
he was the best player at the World Cup. He was the best player at the World
Sure.
Cup. And he won a Ballon d'Or. He won a Ballon d'Or.
That's Ricardo. So come on.
But I also like to say that we can't overlook the fact that Rakitic bailed him out twice in a penalty shootout. But that's for another topic.
And he missed the penalty.
Anyways, moving on. In terms of these three, like I was actually looking into this trio, and I actually found out that Casemiro didn't play the first Champions League. I thought he did, but I guess memory is just whatever. It's going out. Busquets wasn't in the first year in 08, so you can't count that towards a trio. But in terms of the trio, like we can say we want about maybe Iniesta played out left, and it played out left in the Euros 2012, and then in the World Cup he played out right. It still doesn't change the fact that this Spain team was built off what Barcelona's structure was, and that structure of Barcelona was this particular three after the 08 Euros. Now, obviously, the Champions League, they heavily favor Real Madrid. I think they would technically have 4 because Kroos only won 4 with them, and Casemiro wasn't really part of the first one. So I think it depends entirely of what you value. I know most people we're in a time where the Champions League is valued so much more, so I can see why people will value that. However, I think what isn't spoken enough is obviously that when Spain was the best league in the world, the level of dominance Barcelona's midfield trio had on La Liga. If I'm counting correctly, so 1, 2, 3, 4, they had 5 together. Well, you can say 4 because the 5th one, 14-15, Xavi was pretty much playing off the bench. So there's 4 league titles. There's 3 Champions Leagues, unless you want to count it as 2 because, like I said, Xavi was playing off the bench. But I can't. I'd rather take 3 Champions.
The league is a sneaky one. The league is a sneaky one. League titles. That's a
and
sneaky one.
the only reason why I mentioned the league ones, is mainly because La Liga at the time, it was definitively the best league in the world. So there is a merit to that. However, for Real Madrid, in terms of the league, their first league title in terms of all 3 of them together was in 16-17. All 3 of them together, right? And 16-17, Xavi wasn't even a player anymore. He was, I don't know what the hell he was doing. I think he was in Qatar signing his contract. So, I mean, it would have been a better conversation if these trios actually went head to head at the same time, but they actually never did. It was more of Barcelona's dominance first, from like 08-09 to 2015. And then
yeah.
Real Madrid's trio pretty much
because like Xavi in 2015 was sort of coming out, and that's when they was
So then and then from 14 to the end of the 3P, obviously they snuck in another Champions League in between, and then they snuck in 2 more La Liga titles in 1920 and 21-22. But La Liga, was it really the best? I mean, I would say the Premier League was actually best. So like, yeah, it's like 2 different generations that just like, it kind of like passed the baton, really. So it depends what you argue. If you like Champions League, you'll probably favor Real Madrid. But if you like the league titles, Champions League, the treble, and the international titles, then you got to go with Barcelona.
Vilton, what do you say?
Come back to me. Just go to Red. I'm doing something.
Red,
Give me a second.
Red.
He's doing research.
I mean, like, ultimately, there is no wrong answer, HH. Like, I obviously admire Barcelona's trio a lot, like, what they accomplished in world football. They were, especially Iniesta. To be honest with you, Busquets, I really like him because if you want to give him, like, his attributes, he's very, how can I say this? It's very underrated, but his eye for passing and for runs is incredible. Busquets has some insane
and also he's a very smart dribbler. Very smart
and very efficient. Like his reading of the game, the way because he's not, like, people always talk about Toni Kroos being on life support. Toni Kroos is slow and he doesn't cover much ground, but like Busquets is 10 times worse. Busquets has the physique of a 12-year-old like boy, like that's on life support. He can't even do a push-up. I'm fairly certain. Like, he's not very physical, but his reading of the game always has him put in proper decisions. Like, and like for what they did for Spain, like, obviously, like, I'll be honest, I never really liked that Spain generation because they were always very boring to watch. They never really had any flair. They would just pass the ball for most of the time, and like the games were just, they never really had, like, aside from the final versus Netherlands, like, most of their games were just a snooze fest for me, to be honest. So I never found them because without Messi, that midfield trio just had no end product.
And Red, that final was one of the worst final of all time too. That 2010 final, most fouls, most everything.
At the time, because there was going to be a new winner, and it was like it was just very exciting. It was like a deal, like, especially because everyone was going all out for that one. But yeah, so like that midfield trio, like for Spain, I just didn't like. I don't know. Aside from Iniesta, none of them really have brag. Like, Xavi too was incredible, but like Iniesta was the one that has the big moments because he scored the winner, obviously, and like he had those moments. But I'd still go for Real Madrid's midfield. Obviously, I'm a Real Madrid fan, so I'm biased, but like the reason for it is Madrid's midfield can adapt to any situation. They don't play a specific style. They have 3 players with 3 different attributes that they excel in. You have Casemiro the destroyer, Kroos the sniper, and Modric the creator. And you put this midfield trio against any type of team with any different style, they'll always be able to hold their own, and they'll be able to adapt to that team. Whereas when it comes to Barca's team, they only know how to play possession-based football. Busquets is not destroying shit. Busquets, if they don't have the ball, is a liability on the team. Iniesta, as great as he is attacking-wise, he's not really the best at really retaining the defensive. In between the 3 of them, none of them are really great goal scorers to really say that, oh, they're better than Modric, Casemiro, and Kroos, at least in that aspect. Iniesta is just the one that has the clutch gene, but he's not a great goal scorer. So, like, just for that reason alone, I choose Real Madrid's trio. Plus, Real Madrid's trio, like, let's say, for example, HH, if I were to tell you, like, you need to sign 3 midfielders, one set of these 3 midfielders for your club, and you want long-term results, right? You're going to obviously pick Real Madrid's midfield, because Real Madrid's midfield is going to last you longer. They're going to take you farther, because, like, people underestimate, like, Modric is 36. He's turning 37, and he's still bringing in results. He's still performing at a high level. Like, people keep talking about, like, Iniesta and Xavi, but like back in the day for those 3 years they had from 2009 to 2011, but like they like that was like almost 10 years ago. Now, obviously, like, the nostalgia will amplify that, but everybody's just overlooking what Modric is doing. He's 36. This guy just led Real Madrid to a Champions League. Like, I know, obviously, like, with a team, with Benzema and stuff, but, like, at the same time, those guys also had Messi, they had Henry, they had Eto'o,
but then, just as a counter argument, people then say, but people then say, like, the amount of league titles, that's 3-1. Like, let's be like, Real Madrid didn't really, first of all, that midfield 3 didn't help to contribute towards a treble, and that midfield 3 don't contribute towards winning more league titles than they should have.
I mean, ultimately, look, the treble, cool. Like, the name is cool. You're talking about a Copa del Rey, ultimately. because Real Madrid trio did win 2 doubles, League and Champions League, which is ultimately what's the most important. Same thing as that Barca trio, which they only won one. Did they win the double in 2011? Yeah, they did win the double in 2011.
Yeah.
So they won 2 doubles. That Barca, because I don't care about the Copa del Rey. That's not like they can claim it. You can claim that as a point towards them. Ultimately, to me, it's not really a trophy that I really live for, or really care about, or really even watch. It's about the league. That's your bread and butter. And the Champions League, that's the pinnacle of club football. Those two. If you win those two, that's ultimately what matters. And Real Madrid's midfield won a double twice. They won in 2017 and they won in 2020. Right. In addition to a three-peat.
Let me come to you. So Barry, what do you say? Which 3 are you taking?
Well, I mean, you guys know me, but I'm gonna try to like be as unbiased as I can and try to give like fair points to everybody. So obviously like when it comes to CM, KCM 4 Champions Leagues. I won't say 5 because they weren't there for another one. But Champions Leagues, phenomenal runs in each and every one of those victories. And Xavi, Busquets and Iniesta, But for me, I'm gonna still go for Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets because I think when you look at player for player, I think that Busquets is a better player than Casemiro. I think Iniesta is a slightly better player than Modric, and I think that Xavi is head and shoulders above Kroos when it comes to overall footballing abilities and everything. And I think one thing that I kind of looked a bit is that I think the best way to like see how these guys would match up to each other is like that 2019 Ajax matchup for Real Madrid. Because if you remember, like, okay, first leg, Ajax completely dominated that Real Madrid midfield, but they lost the game. But in the second leg, Modric got touched by Frenkie de Jong, and that's like one of my best like representations of a matchup between these two midfields. So you can't go wrong either way, but my preference is Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta. Respect.
Wait, Barry. By the way,
what's up?
Wait, Barry. Did any of your midfield 3 ever score in a Champions League final by any chance?
You said what?
Did any of your midfield 3, any of them score in a Champions League final by any chance?
Iniesta.
Iniesta scored in a World Cup final. So what's your point?
Well, it doesn't matter because they both won
CLs. Am I speaking Chinese? That's the Champions League, bro. These guys are bringing up World Cup.
Milton is shameless, man.
Well, it doesn't matter because they haven't lost the final.
I mean, like, to be honest, just for the guy that just gave the point, like, I don't see how Real Madrid losing one game against Ajax is a testament to their quality.
Because literally, we did
Wait. I'm saying it's the best way to see a matchup between these two.
Because we're coming back from a three-peat, bro.
I think Barry's logic is that if they were to play at their peak, that Real Madrid team will not get close to that midfield three because they'll be able to keep the ball in the way that Ajax did in that.
Pretty much.
But HH, do you not remember also in that game in the first 7 minutes, Real Madrid had 2 injuries and 2 players had to be subbed off. Our entire game plan was just out the window. And during that season, Real Madrid went through 3 different managers. Like, you're not talking about Real Madrid.
One of the worst seasons
ever. So did Barca because remember Tito Martino, and they had to like switch managers because I think one of their managers died.
Also cancer.
Yeah, he died.
So which 3 are you taking and why?
I'm gonna take KCM, and also like it's just like my midfield 3. I don't ever remember my midfield 3 holding up 7-0 in the Champions League tie, but that's here and there for a different conversation. But yeah, like just what Red said earlier, like just because it like 16-17, that Madrid team was able to play any style of football, counterattack, pressing, like play tiki-taka the way Barcelona was able to do it. Obviously, weren't fluent like the way Barca were doing it, but again, that was mostly Barca's system. Yes, you could say, I guess most people enjoy the Barcelona team, but like personally, I find them they were boring. Yeah, they're an amazing team. I'm not denying that, but it was just like 1,000 passes, then pass the ball to Messi, then Messi would score. But to me, it was boring. Like
man. I like you a lot, man. You broke my heart.
I'm giving credit, but as a duo, what this trio did this season, it's just. And by the way, Mohamed, bro, in the first half, Kroos was the best midfielder in that game against Liverpool in the first half. Like,
no, he
so
wasn't.
yeah, he was. How was he
What are
not?
you talking about?
How was he not? In the first half
What is
against
this
Liverpool?
you're saying?
In the
Bro,
first half against Liverpool,
bro,
how was he
the
not?
bottom line is, bro, Kroos has been getting absolutely carried this year, bro, and you just
Wait,
have
what?
to keep it a stack,
Oh my
bro.
God.
Bro, you don't have to go in the first half of the season. Did you watch the first half of the season? Did you watch the first?
Bro, I like
Vilton, you better
Did you watch
defend
the first half of
bro.
the season?
Why would I have, bro? I have
Mohammed,
nothing
did you watch
against
the first
Madrid,
half
bro.
of the season? He was
Bro,
good
I
in
have
the first
nothing
half of the
against
season.
Madrid, bro. I rate your midfield.
No, Mohammed, he
Bro,
was.
I
bro,
rate Modric. I
Mohammed,
rate
he was the
Casemiro.
best
I
midfielder in
just
the
don't
first half
rate
of the
Kroos.
season. It's just
Bro,
the second
Kroos
half
is
he
a corner
slowed
kick
down.
merchant,
And
bro.
you and you can't
Kroos is
tell
a
me
corner kick
no,
merchant.
Mohammed.
Bro,
He
all
is
he
not.
does,
He is not a
and
corner
then
kick
Ramos
merchant.
is, bro. Bro, all Kroos does, bro, Kroos
chaos,
goes
man.
on the corner kick and he just crosses some Bandulu cross, and then Ramos
Mohammed,
scores
you
like
said
3 headers, bro.
Mohammed, you said he was on life support. That is rude. Calling Kroos
Bro,
on life support, that is rude.
Kroos was a corner kick
last
merchant,
45
bro.
minutes
He
on
went
the
to the
pitch.
corner kick and just crossed it, and Ramos would
let
score
me ask
4
you this
headers,
question.
bro.
Wait, Mohammed,
why doesn't
Mohammed.
Wait, guys, hold on. Wilson said.
Wait, Mohammed,
Let
let me
Vilton land.
Mohammed
Let
this.
Vilton
Let me
land.
go after
Mohammed, who
I
was
wanna
the
go
best
after him.
midfielder in that first half against Liverpool? Who was the best midfielder out of that midfield three in that first half against Liverpool?
Vilton, I think you're talking about the second half because first half he was pretty bad in the final.
Yeah,
in the second half he showed up.
and even in the second half, Modric is the one who started that play. Modric is the one who drew Robertson out, and then he played
Modric
that
wasn't
ball.
that good in the final. Casemiro and
Bro, Modric
Toni
was the
Kroos
one
in that
who
final.
made you guys score the goal. He's the
You mean
one who
Carvajal?
drew Robertson out.
That was
No,
Valverde,
Modric.
bro.
That was Carvajal. That was Carvajal.
No, Modric.
That was
No,
Modric.
Modric had the
Ramos
reverse
went
pass.
to Modric.
It was Modric. It was
Modric and Carvajal started playing.
I would say
saying-
Casemiro was the best though.
Yeah, Casemiro was quality.
Definitely.
Casemiro was
Just
quality.
based on the scoring. But don't say Toni
if I
Kroos
could,
on live
Vilton,
support,
but
man.
just one
Wait.
second.
Let Wilson.
No, all I'm saying, like, don't say Toni Kroos was live support. The first half of the season, he was really good. He was arguably top 5 player for us in the first half of the season. It's just the second half he slowed down a bit. I mean, the guy is not the most athletic midfielder out there, so I just didn't want to hear you say like he was on live support. But it's just personally, I'm gonna go.
He's not a bad midfielder.
Just because of this season, it's just like PSG, Chelsea, City, and Liverpool. Like that's a tough run, and and this midfield three is not really at their peak anymore. Maybe you could say Casemiro.
Bilton, what happened at PSG? He got subbed out. Camavinga came in and
thank
changed
you,
the game.
Bro,
wait. Yeah, thank you, bro. Like that's a fact.
Get out of here with that Kroos take, bro. He's the most
Bro,
underrated
exactly.
midfielder.
Take it over.
If it wasn't for Higuain bothering the 2014 World Cup.
Can I just say my part?
What did it say?
Let me just respond to this one point. Because I'll tell you what we're not gonna do. You guys aren't gonna sit here and point out active games for active midfielders to criticize them. Because we can easily go back in time and look at the big losses that Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets had. Because they've had some humiliating losses, like losing 7-0 to Bayern Munich. Like, come on, Real Madrid. People say, "Oh, Real Madrid's team get dominated," but they win. Barca, they get dominated and get destroyed. Not Barca. That Barca trio get dominated and they get destroyed 7-0. What happened to the midfield there, bro? Where was the possession and all that shit that you guys are talking about?
That was more of defense. That was more PK being a threat.
That's true.
That was PK being a threat, right?
It was no. Wait. Hold on. It was 3-0 in fourth, but Real Madrid have been on the end of 4-0 on 5-1 against Barcelona themselves. So
exactly.
We're nitpicking, bro. We're nitpicking. Let me just get into it. Yeah. Relax. I just wanted to say, man, in terms of midfield, for me, it's about control. It's about the midfield's job is to control the game, and I feel like that midfield trio did a well job. Even though people are saying that Iniesta had a role of being a winger, I feel like he was an inverted winger that would join the midfield, and he would kind of contribute in that sense. So for me, in terms of just, for me, I look at both international and club performances as a whole. So in terms of that, I mean, I give respect to the Real Madrid midfield trio because of what they accomplished. It was that 4 Champions Leagues and the amount of league titles they've won. I believe it's 4 together. So you have to give them respect in that sense. But for me, it comes down to control. And then when it comes to, I feel like people belittled
Busquets, Busquets as a part of the midfield trio. I mean, this guy isn't reliant.
Man, come on,
no. People seem to think that this guy just dictates from the back. It's also his reading of the game as a defender. The fact that this guy isn't relying on physicality and he still reads the game and he has to get there ahead of players because he's not going to beat them in terms of physicality. That just shows the caliber. Yeah, the caliber of a player he was, and.
And he's a cheater too. He cheated too.
Oh, okay. Wilton,
bro, Casemiro escapes red cards every 5 seconds.
Stop the cap.
He should have had a red against Liverpool.
You can't support Casemiro and say that, bro.
Zima,
you know how ridiculous that sounds.
Didn't he try to cheat against Uncle Muiches in 2010? Last time I checked on the pitch, wasn't Busquets trying to
get? Cheat, man. They lost.
No, can I just ask a quick question? It's kind of tied to it, so but just as a clarification, just regarding Iniesta, because I wasn't on the Hangout thing before, but someone told me that like he's playing for this Japanese J League team and they're at the bottom of the league. I wasn't on the Hangout, but I just want a clarification. Is that true?
That's true. Yes, it's true.
Is he the captain of a team that is currently battling relegation in Japan?
Leave the guy alone, bro.
Wow, man. Can I go on this, man?
I'm only asking for clarification.
Respect the World Cup winner, bro.
To that point, though, what Zeman, Ricardo, and Basfan have to accept, because you're going to go back at football, what you have to accept is, in terms of longevity, see, the control arguments, Barca trio win. Longevity arguments, Real Madrid trio win.
They completed football, They completed football. They don't need to try. You don't need to try.
From the academy.
I have a really important counter argument.
Okay. Let's finish his point. I want to continue.
Like I said, it's based on the achievements internationally and as well as club wise. You can't say that Casemiro, Kroos, Modric, they didn't play with each other internationally. But at the end of the day, we can't disregard what they've done in terms of football and being a part of the pioneer of Spain's golden generation. Without those three, you take those three out, Spain aren't winning anything. They're not winning anything.
About anybody,
and that's no. But that's a testament to how important they were.
You could say that about any great player. You could say that about
any great player. Johan Cruyff way, bro. They started a new brand of football, bro. Like they are generational, bro. Like
so.
That's no bias, bro.
Anyway, I would take the Barcelona midfield trio.
All right. Delta, talk to me. Delta.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's not even close. Like when it comes to chemistry, Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, it's not even close. I feel like player for player, they're also better. Iniesta is better than Modric. When we're comparing only peak in prime.
How many Ballon d'Ors? How many Ballon d'Or PSG Delta?
Dude, Shevchenko.
Bro, that PR thing, bro. That PR trophy.
Oh, so you don't rate Ballon d'Ors?
That's
PR.
Delta.
Let me. So Xavi is also better than Kroos. Dude, I don't even know why people rate Kroos that highly. Because if it wasn't for Higuain being a prick in that final, Kroos could have actually given Germany.
PSG Delta, we don't do if here.
So that guy is literally a journeyman who's been carried.
We don't do if. Stop saying if. We don't do if.
Let PSG Delta lag, man.
So Xavi is much better than Kroos. It's not even close. Busquets. It's very close with Casemiro, but I'd give Busquets the edge.
You can't compare. You can't compare Busquets and Casemiro. They're not even the same type.
Yes, they are. They play both the DM position. What are you talking about,
bro? They don't play the same time. Oh my god!
No, one is a destroyer, bro. They don't play the same style.
It's different.
It's different in the sense of the way they approach it. It's like different.
I'm not surprised, man. PSG Delta was like hype, so he's following the Barca true because they just had better PR. That's the only reason why.
Okay, so Mohammed,
not which three internationally
for you.
Oh no, Z-Man, you made good points. I'm talking about PSG Delta's response. How can you compare Busquets to Casemiro? They're two different players completely.
Relax,
PSG Delta's wild, man.
Which tree?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. Kroos is a no look corner kick merchant, bro. Like this guy, bro.
Okay.
This guy, bro.
I don't want to be that guy.
This guy from the corner flag, he'll be like,
relax, man.
And then
relax.
Bro, Ramos will header it every time, bro. Like, bro, I swear if Casemiro just went like this, bro, look the other way and cross that shit, Ramos will header it every time, bro. Like, and when it comes to, look, I'm not trying. Look, Kroos is a good midfielder, but bro, like, let's not Bro, when it comes down to it, the golden generation of Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, as much as people will say Iniesta was playing as a winger and whatnot, The guy clutched up in a World Cup final, bro. And look, if you want to put the World Cup aside, then I would say the Madrid trio. Okay, so you guys don't look, for me, that's the thing that puts them over the line. And when you guys say, oh, but the trio, they don't play for the same country for the Madrid trio, but you got to also look at it like these guys broke in from the academy to the starting 11 and they introduced a new brand of football. Like that's a more difficult task to even do that and actually be successful. And even if the longevity isn't there, the fact that it carried on to the country team, that's a whole the type of quality they have for it to actually come to fruition and result in a World Cup win. And for Iniesta to be the winning goal scorer in that final, whether or not people want to say Robben tax or red card tax and all that, bro, I don't care about none of that, bro. At the end of the day, Iniesta clutched up when shit hit the fan, bro. And that's not to disrespect the Madrid trio because they're also a very good trio. It's not to disrespect them. It's very close. It's not like I'm saying Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets are way better. Like, it's just that it's very close. And the World Cup edges it to the Spain trio. I mean, the Spain trio, the fucking Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta shit. And as much as people will say it looks boring, but I would say y'all think it looks boring because of how good they were on the ball. And it's boring because it was hard to they were so good on the ball that it was almost
it was good.
Exactly, bro. It's good, bro. And look, at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day,
can you name one classic match with that Spain trio?
Look, it's not like
one match
saying,
where you can go like, wow, they were really.
It's not about one match. It's
you can't, bro. You can't because you guys are all talking off
even
nostalgia.
against United, they made them look like they had Scott McTominay and Fred in those finals when they had better midfielders and a better team. That's how bad they made them look. They made them look like Burnley.
Germany outplayed them.
No. Hold up, Red. Let's be fair. Red. Let's be fair. 2011. UCL final, that second half.
Oh no,
one of the
Barca,
best team performances I've seen.
at Barca, they're different. I'm talking about Spain. When they're talking about the Spain
shit,
argument.
Red. What are you talking about?
Like, exactly.
That's it. I'm talking about for Barca.
They beat Italy 4-0 in the 2012.
They introduced a new style of play to football. They implemented the Johan Cruyff way. Even if you want to give that credit to Pep, those guys were on the field doing that. They were the generational midfielders that
Spain weren't playing just like Barcelona. They were playing a different brand. They also their manager was Del Bosque, which was a Madrid legend. Like, and it's completely like that.
So
that's why I mentioned earlier,
midfield, bro. It doesn't matter
because they weren't they weren't even playing as a midfield three, which isn't the debate.
It's not about
shit. Let me get my
you can say the same
man.
about when Isco helped the diamond midfield. When Isco was there in for 2017 when Bale wasn't there.
Isco was playing on the right wing, bro. Isco replaced Bale.
And then Valverde was doing the heavy lifting for Kroos and Modric because
Valverde was on the right wing, bro. He was a winger. He was a winger. He wasn't part of the midfield three.
Valverde would go into the midfield and then Modric would go into the 10 area.
Yeah, bro. So does Benzema drop into midfield. So does
Benzema guys. Sorry, I'm gonna music. So Hokage, talk to me. Hokage, your view.
Here's the thing. For me, I disregard the Spain team because you guys take away the football aspect. This is just the basics of persuasive arguments. If you're going to compare two things, you compare them on a level playing field. You compare them on a level playing field. So for me, I don't give a crap about Spain. In fact, my memory of Spain is they barely got by Germany, and that midfield got dominated by the boy Bastian Schweinsteiger. Bastian Schweinsteiger committed Amber Heard violations on them in 2013. Whoa. Don't get it twisted. It's revisionist. These guys weren't always dominant. There was
Amber catching strays, man.
There were midfield threes out there that put clinics on these guys. They weren't always so dominant and invincible. That's a revisionist history, but it's also revisionist for Real Madrid fans to be like their midfield was invincible because there were games where they got destroyed. But that's not point.
By Barcelona.
Bring that aside. When I look at club, disregarding the international bullcrap, regarding club, I would say, my memory of that 3 was that 2011 final, and I thought that was crazy, right? That was insane. But 3 Champions Leagues in a row, and a 4th one this year, and you could say, oh, Kroos was on life support. I don't care. What I saw in that final was that Kroos in the second half put Thiago on his knees. He put Henderson on his knees. He put Fabinho on his
Bro,
knees.
those guys are bums, bro. Thiago is a flop, bro, and Henderson's a Brexit youth, bro. Like loud. Henderson, bro. Am I supposed to be impressed by someone cooking Henderson, bro?
Wait,
Like,
hold on. Who did? No, sorry. Who did?
Bro,
Mo, who did?
Xavi
Bro,
Iniesta
listen
made
to me. Who did
best
Who
United
did Xavi
teams
and
look like
Iniesta
Burnley?
dominate in that 2011? Who did United have in that midfield in 2011?
United made bro, Barca made United look like Burnley.
No, who did they have in that midfield? Who did they have in that midfield?
Yeah, can someone get up that because
Was it who was it? RDS, who was it, bro?
If
the fact that you don't remember is actually not helping your
40
case.
year old, I'll tell you, 40-year-old Ryan Giggs in midfield. He was a winger. He was moved to midfield because he was 40 years old. And Jason Park. That's who they cooked. And I'm supposed to be impressed. I'm supposed to be impressed.
But bro, it's the fact that that United team looked like Burnley, bro.
Hokage. Finish your point.
But anyway, for me, I gotta take this Real Madrid trio for me because you guys one of the main talking points about the KCM is it's always Kroos. They say that's a weak link. They say he's slow. Motherfucker's been always slow, guys. Kroos has always been slow. When he was playing attacking mid for Bayer Leverkusen and for Bayern Munich, this guy was slow. That's why he moved back. But it's not about picking out the individual flaws. These three completed each other just how Busquets, Iniesta, and Xavi on their day completed each other. I just think, disregarding what they did for Spain, when you look at the club level, sure, take away the leagues. I don't care about leagues. You guys, I'm a Bayern fan. The Bundesliga means nothing for me. I want Champions Leagues, and these guys, if they put them in Bayern, they give me a Champions League. I'm taking these guys.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious why you disregard leagues.
Artists, who are you taking, artists?
No, can I just share this thing here? Because I what was it? It's just going based on what I think Thingy was just saying. Okay, so this was, I think, the starting 11 when Barcelona cooked. Okay, and I know this is a side, but this is why I say that Sir Alex Ferguson is one of the best managers. Like, do you see that midfield? Do you see that midfield? Giggs was 40, or at least approaching 40. Okay, Carrick. Okay, Loki Carrick actually was cooking. Park, was on his last legs.
He was finished at that point.
He was finished. Hernandez.
On loan, bro. On loan.
Fox in the box, man.
And then Ferdinand Vidic also, so Ferdinand Vidic were also on the last leg as well. Fabio, compared to Pedro, Messi, Darren Peak Villa, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, PK, Mascot. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, man.
Wait, but that doesn't matter because that was what
it doesn't
against
matter.
them.
It's the fact that they made it look so embarrassing. That was the most embarrassing.
But the point I'm trying to make is that you can't
why are you degrading your team just to side with Real?
I know, right, bro? If that's your cup of tea, beat them motherfucking ass. That's it.
He's on loan. Ricardo, he's actually on loan.
I'm Madrid, man.
Hello, on loan to Madrid. Did you see the jersey? Come on.
All I'm just trying to say is that, come on, let's not overhype this performance against a clearly retired Manchester United side. And we should actually give more credit to the fact that Sir Alex Ferguson was somehow able to get these guys to a final, as opposed to the fact that a Barcelona side, which was clearly talented and clearly superior, was able to beat the better team. Simple as that, So, but in regards to,
it's easy to bring up wing stocks.
Sorry, what was that, Gala?
Sorry, keep talking.
Oh, nice. So, but just in regards to this debate, at the end of the day, I think I agree actually with Fakagi that it does make more sense to compare the trios from their domestic performances as opposed to the international performances, because it just gets rid of the variables. And in my opinion, it is close. It is close. I guess I would say I'd make, for me, the only way I guess that maybe that you could make it a fair argument is maybe actually look at the ages. So maybe see, okay, what were the certain players doing at their respective ages compared to other players? So maybe that's why. Again, I'm not going to go on either side here. But maybe that's why people are saying that the Madrid trio is better than the Barca trio, because the Madrid show have achieved despite their age, the Madrid show have achieved quite a lot compared to the Barca trio. That could be factually accurate. I don't know, but the point I guess I'm going to make is that like maybe a fairer assessment or comparison is actually looking at what each individual player achieved at their respective ages, as opposed to like a specific like league campaign or a specific moment. Is that fair?
Well, there's a problem with that. Is
Okay.
that with the Barca trio, they started much earlier because they're like academy products and they like
Okay.
sort of go up together. Whereas you have like a player like Modric, who was a war refugee at that time, and his career really didn't get started until he was like 24, where he finally moved to England, I think, and went to Spurs, right?
Mhm.
So like that's why like it's for me like it's really hard to compare these three.
Yeah,
That Barca trio are always together.
That
That
also includes longevity as well. So again, like what is Modric doing at 36 versus what Iniesta
but
is
shouldn't
doing
be
at 36?
but shouldn't we be comparing if you're gonna do that, shouldn't you be comparing the longevity of the trio together as well, not the specific age of each one? Because again, they both came at different eras. While one was on the decline and moving on, the other one was starting up. So it's like they come from two different generations.
RDS,
If you look at it from that
Madrid's
standpoint.
trio is 2015 till now. That's an 8-year span. That Barca trio did not last 8 years. They were together, if you want to count them, actually, it was the 2008-9 season up until, let's just say, 2014. 13-14, that was like the last season where Xavi was, even 2012-13, no, 2013-14 was the last season where Xavi was like, I would say, majority a starter. So in that case, they only gave them like 6 years compared to the Madrid trio that gave you 8.
Yeah, but Red, in that
Even
that 6 year span, like Barcelona were so dominant domestically as well. Like they were winning almost every single thing. Whereas
2 Champions Leagues.
Whereas Real Madrid, like you guys only dominated in the Champions League. Domestically, you weren't as dominant.
No, we were. The thing is, we were dominant. Like for example, like saying we weren't dominant, it's like saying Liverpool aren't dominant in the Premier League. Like Real Madrid, for example, 2009, 10.
No, I get what you're saying.
We finished with 96 points. And we didn't win the league, but we finished with 96 points. Right, the thing is there's when it comes to the league isn't really a good indicator. Just winning the league isn't a good indicator because, like, by that logic, you could say Liverpool are a bad team and City are a great team because City have won the Premier League this season and Liverpool finished only with 91 points. There's a 1 point difference.
I don't rate a team that gets second place just because they get high.
But I'm not saying that Real Madrid's trio isn't good because they've not won any league titles. But the fact of the matter is that the one credit I would give league titles is because you have to show a level of consistency week in and week out. And the fact that there's only one league, well, when the La Liga was at its very best, very best, undeniably the best, which is the one league title they won 3 altogether was the 16-17 season. And for a midfield to be that great, there's something to say about the lack of league titles, because if Barcelona's midfield was so dominant and they've won 4 or 5 league titles, and we're comparing both of them, in the league, they should have more than 1 league title. And this is after Barcelona's midfield 3 just...
I agree with that.
I definitely like. I'm not.
I need to some does. So from your boy, who says Pielo solos these 2 trios. # greatest Panenka.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
That's the best job you've ever done.
No, he
Yes,
doesn't.
he does.
Okay.
Yeah,
It says don't make me point to 2012. That shit was there.
Wing.
Oh my God! You see, this is why these guys only allowed.
Pirlo got touched in 2012.
Wing, thank you for that. Thank you for that contribution.
Wings as well, man.
Thank you, Wing.
These men are tapped, bro.
Racismo no association. David Luiz Cahill equals 1 UCL. Terry slipped in 08. # Rio. Thank you for that no association racism. Thank you, bro. English Talents FC. Look, I'm moving on. Barca underachieved. 1 UCL only after 2011. Wait, did we win in 2015?
Yeah,
he's talking about the 3. He's talking about the midfield 3.
Yeah, they won 09, 11, and 15.
Barca trio got beaten 7-0 on aggregate versus Bayern in 2013.
They broke a record with that. That's the worst quarterfinal loss of all time.
Wait.
Record. So that midfield was breaking records.
Real Madrid got touched by bum-ass Barcelona teams, man. So I don't get it, man.
I mean, this could go in the same direction.
Bro,
So
congratulations.
Okay.
Okay. One sec.
Y'all lost
If we're gonna,
5-1,
if we're,
4-0, and 4-0 again in the Bernabeu.
Bro, that's hockey scores, man.
One-offs, bro. You're talking about one-off games, right?
Oh
Because
my
don't forget,
God.
Madrid still has.
What the heck?
Look.
I give 3 results. I give 3 separate results.
If you're gonna compare Madrid to Barcelona, we still have more El Clasico wins, more La Liga titles, more consecutive La Liga titles, the best individual league season ever in 2012 with most goals, best goal difference.
Wait, so we're gonna bring him? So we're gonna bring up El Clasico without a yellow and red card?
And even
that's what we're doing.
And even despite Messi's domination, Ronaldo, a Real Madrid player, still holds record for most winners in one league campaign in 2012. Like, Real Madrid dominate La Liga in every attribute. I'm not salty, bro. These are facts, bro. These are facts.
Whimsical thoughts. If the question is who is the greatest, undoubtedly it's Kroos, Modric, Casemiro. But if it's who's the best, it's of course Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. Quality is superior with Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. You can make that argument.
Facts.
And so Daddy U says Real Madrid trio never dominated any
What does that
CL
even
final.
mean, you fucking
Did you
moron?
watch any Champions League finals?
You're such a moron, Daddy.
Please,
Daddy Ooze, bro.
Can we establish the fact that you cannot boast about dominating
such a virgin, dude? That literally makes no sense.
No.
Guys, hold
Nobody
on.
takes that news seriously. Just ignore it.
They did against Juventus.
2017, Modric was literally man of the match against Juve.
Red, nobody takes that news seriously. Just move.
HH, that's first episode of.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I don't need.
Zeman, all I'm saying is that.
The first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes.
It's the most disgusting thing you'll ever see in your life. That's all I'll
say.
say.
It was also beautiful, though.
Hold up. QC8.
You're disturbing, man.
In terms of legacy, Barca trio, history will remember the World Cup. They marked an era. Their impact is bigger. It's unfair, but so is life. That's just my opinion. So
Speak on it.
Hey, that boy is spit, man.
Speak on it.
You know, this is what I'll say that. If to be fair, they have a greater impact because in terms of a system, and a system that's defined an era of football, they were at the center of a type of football and a type of system that's pretty much dominating as we've ever seen. That's his facts. Like longevity, I'm giving your boys because Iniesta is about to relegate Vissel Kobe in Japan right now.
Wait. But you also rate Zidane that didn't have like. When did he retire? What age was he? What was his age?
34. He was 34.
So you can't be using longevity.
It's fair. And why hasn't Mbappe bought a UEFA coaching license? KDB has a license. Also, Ray will be staying at Chelsea for the rest of his career.
Don't be able
he
to
left
talk about that,
Kim
man.
K. # between the sheets. # scores and scores. It's fair. I know. Yeah. Ray will be staying
shout
here
out
for all
Alicia.
time.
You didn't let Undisputed go. He wanted to say something about
because we have to go through because I need to watch this NBA game. But let's hit it. It's brief. Which tree is better and why?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, can I just say real quick, comparing international, saying, they got a World Cup hero is complete nonsense, irrelevant. Like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, so privileged to all play for the same country with a world-class goalkeeper in Casillas, with world-class center backs like Ramos, Piqué, Puyol, world-class strikers like Villa and Torres. They had everything given to them on a plate. It was so easy for them. Everything was gifted to them. Modric came from a war refugee country. He's the best out of all these 6 players, by the way. Modric is the king. Don't give me this nonsense. War refugee country.
Facts.
Had to go to Tottenham. Then went to Real Madrid. Modric has been a central piece in 5 Champions League victories. Xavi was a central piece in 2 Champions League victories. He was injured in 2006, didn't play a single knockout game. He was a bench player in 2015. The only Champions Leagues I'm giving Xavi is 2009 and 2011. Like the amount of PR that this, I think me and Red spoke about this a few weeks ago, but the amount of PR that this Barca team gets, it's actually incredible. So, like from 08 to 2012, these guys had the best coach of all time. They had the best midfield trio of all time. They had the best player of all time. And they won 2 Champions League trophies. 2. Modric has 5, and he was central in all of them. If I compare...
in Undisputed, real quick,
Yeah.
in 2015, when Real Madrid were knocked out in the semis by Juve, there was one player missing in that game, and that was Luka Modric when he was out on injury.
Injuries are a
That
part
was
of the
it.
game.
Yeah, but that's a very good point as well. Modric, I think if Modric was fit, he might have. This sounds crazy. Modric might have done 5 in a row if he was fully fit for that game. He's been a central part in 5 Champions League finals. He's still world class at the age of 36. These losers, Xavi and Iniesta, these guys are playing in Qatar and flipping Japan at the age of 34. Don't give me this nonsense. Modric, if I compare him to Xavi, he's peak Modric to peak Xavi. Modric is a better dribbler than Xavi. He's got better stamina, better defensively, better shooting.
I got a question for you.
The only thing Xavi might have over him is short distance passing accuracy. That's what all he's got. Modric is just better than Xavi in every way. And honestly, if Modric, I'm going to be real right now. If Modric was German or French, and he was a part of, say, the 2014 Germany team or the 2018 France team, Modric would be universally considered the greatest central midfielder of all time. And Zidane's more attacking bit, so that's different. Central midfielder. If Modric was German or French, the only reason why this bum Xavi is even in a debate with Modric is because he was lucky enough to play for the best international team of his generation, whereas Modric wasn't. The only reason.
Xavi a bomb?
Compared to Modric, he is. Modric is so far clear of Xavi. So far clear of Xavi.
This guy's so
I heard nothing but facts.
Can I quickly respond to Seaman? Bias. First of all, I'm a Liverpool fan. I have no preference between Real Madrid and Barcelona. I've always liked Messi more than Ronaldo. That's where, you can maybe, some people might say I'm biased in favor of Barcelona because I like Messi more than Ronaldo. But when it comes to Modric and Xavi, I think it's clear. There's no bias here. Modric is just better. He's just better. Better player all around, greater longevity. He's done it in many different teams, many different systems, many different coaches, and just better ability as well. That's all I'm going to say.
So Mommy Usu says, I'd rather dominate a UCL final than win the final. Thank you, Mommy Us, and that's why you remain to be a loser, because that's a loser.
Lami loose, bro. Lami loose, bro.
Lul Solomon. Mohammed is tripping, calling Kroos trash. That's haram.
Nah, he's a good midfielder, bro. Let me revise with he's a good midfielder, and yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay, all right. So hold on. Your boy here says Madrid better than Barca, CR7 better than Messi. Modric, Kroos, Casemiro better than Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Ramos over Puyol.
Yeah, dumbass snip.
Barca, honestly, Messi. HH, the only one I disagree with.
So, HH, you know that Barca fans believe Iniesta or Xavi are better than Zidane. Remember, Zidane's final game was a walk-off final. Iniesta is getting pimped by animators. On that note,
wow,
guys,
look at the
peace out, and I'll see you on the members hangout on Monday, guys. Peace, peace.